2 likes already. Omar, what's going on, brother? Good afternoon and welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. You guys ready for today's Friday night? Let's go, baby. Edward, how are you, my friend? Rush Babe, welcome, welcome. Okay, here we go. You guys ready to get into it today or what? It's crazy. Who was here first? I didn't see who was here first. I came in here and there was already 2 likes on the video. You guys got in here before even I got in. Sorry, guys, I'm still kind of setting up in here. Hey, you noticed. Hey, you got to work on it a little bit. Haven't been drinking too much coffee, but today is Friday night, and well, I'm drinking my coffee on your favorite character. A 3-way tie. I like it. You guys are awesome. Sixto, how are you, my friend? Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on a new chat. Here we go. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for that support. I appreciate it. Man, we're going to talk about society today. We're going to talk about who works hard, what system works best. We're gonna figure it out. We're going to figure it out. All right, who are we missing here? We're missing Trinity. Hopefully she joins later today. All right. So, guys, I want to welcome you to Friday night's chat. We're going to see what we can come up with today. We know we get our trolls here that like to come in here and start talking smack. So, see if we can get some of those in here today. We always love to get those trolls in here for only one reason, that we hope that they eventually see the truth and that they change their ways. That's right. Hey, Daniel, how are you? Trump 2028. Man, I wish, but I don't think he's gonna run for 2028. What do you guys think about capitalism, socialism, or communism? Which system do you guys like the most? Thank you, Edward. Capitalism, that is my bet as well. Yeah. Wow, nobody likes socialism, huh? You guys already know the results of socialism. So I think is probably a lot of people out there. I think that our country is a capitalist country, but it's mostly a socialist society. And the reason why I say that, there, Augustus, welcome to the chat. Welcome. Dimple Freddy says no coyote. Rush Bay, capitalism doesn't have to be perfect to work. Capitalism, I think, is the best system, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Who are you knuckleheads going to nominate in 2028? J.D. Vance, baby. J.D. Vance all the way, and we need some Marco Rubio in there. I think we got at least 16 years out of these guys, and probably got another 8 years with Tulsi Gabbard, and I don't know who else can be vice president after that. The people that I can think of, they're way too old. So, yeah. Eileen, welcome to the chat, Eileen. Welcome to the free chat where you can speak your mind and be heard. Sometimes. Depends on how busy the chat gets. Jimmy says, we're totally clueless, guys, but capitalism is actually the best system that we can use. That's just what I believe. Now, hey, Teresa, how are you? Mrs. Jones. Jimmy says, it's unfortunate you seem to believe you are intelligent. Isn't it great to be in America? the land of the free, where you're able to think, that you can believe anything you want to believe in here. We even have so much freedoms that I think we should restrict how much freedoms we have. There is people out there that think that they have a different gender than what they're born with. That's crazy, my friend. Intelligence, you can almost fix that. You can almost fix that. The Lady Crockett, she'll make a good president, says Mr. Augustus. Man, I wish that was true, but no. Capitalism at least gives people hope that if they work hard, they can save and invest for their future. I can agree with that. We're going to make a small analysis. We'll use some quick references here about what those three systems are. Now, before we get into it, I want to tell you my experience and the reason why I want to talk about this. There is a podcast that I watch. It's called, I think it's PDB, I think is what it's called. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's from Valuetainment. And, it's a great group of crazy guys get together and they have a successful business. The guy, the owner, he sells insurance. He's got a financial company, etc. They do all this other stuff. Plus, they have merch that they sell. So they have some product, blah, blah, blah. He makes millions, okay, every year. Now, he's a capitalist. And like him, I believe the same way. Well, not the same way. I believe like him to a certain extent. Now, I will tell you this. He went on this show. It was called One Capitalist versus 20 Socialists, I think is what it was. But they should have put in the title One Capital versus 20 Lazy Freeloaders is what they should have called it. Jimmy, you're right. Can't fix stupid. Don't worry, brother. Nobody's perfect. We still like you. Beta. Jimmy is a beta. Richard Muir, all day, Jose. Rando, you cannot felon a felon. 34 fake counts, says the beta Rando. Tough on crimes, unless you reach 34 felony. How long are you guys going to believe these 34 counts of felony? Did you guys not see that picture that I put on my channel? He was acquitted. There's a picture right there. I'll show it to you. Enjoy it. Stop believing the lies from other people. Welcome, Miguel. How are you, my friend? Thanks for joining, brother. Good to have you in here. Always good to have you. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are, the proud, the few, the Americans. You guys actually love America, and I appreciate that. Let's see. What else can we get here? Let's see if we can get any more compliments. Search Beta. He says he's got an expensive face. Don't know. Michael says, why do you think no other country is doing what USA does? Because they're selfish. That's what I think. And who knows? Maybe they just don't have the smarts. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I know a lot about third world countries because I come from one. I know a lot about Latin countries, diplomacies, their economies, what socialism they have, what communism they have. I've seen the results throughout history of how they have run their countries, and they're not good. That's why they're doing bad right now. But the United States of America is, like I said, is a capitalist country, has a capitalist system that it's mostly socialist. And I would say why, okay? Being a capitalist, the way that I believe it, it's you can be a business owner, have private ownership, meaning that you can take a lot of risks. Now, you don't have to hire employees. You can do this business on your own. But the idea of being capitalist, you are allowed to dream above and beyond what you're thinking about right now. And so if you wanted to have a small business, you can. If you wanted to have a medium business, you work your butt off, you make investments, and you have the freedom to keep expanding and growing your wealth. With that, you get to increase if you want to have employees. then you can increase your company size, and then you start making more investments. Hi, Trinity. How are you? Welcome. I'm just talking about you not too long ago. I'm glad to see that you are here, and so are the rest of our friends. And so in a capitalist society, I think everybody has the incentive that if you work hard and smart, because you can work hard all day long, but if you're not smart, you are not going to make the money that you think you're going to make, right? So a lot of people take the easy way. Now, I think that college is overrated unless you're going to go in and study to be a doctor or some type of, profession that you need to have a master's degree. But any trade, any trading jobs, you don't need a master's degree or a bachelor's. College is overrated for that, but you do need to graduate high school, I think. That is the minimum basic education that you should have. So high school diploma is great, but I think knowing a trade can also help you big time. Hi, Renee, brother, how are you? I didn't see you in there, but since Trinity is saying hello to you, I notice you are in here. So why do I say that the majority of this country is socialist? Well, we have about 60% of the wealth or so goes to programs like welfare, maybe Social Security, right? That's where all the money goes. Now, the argument is that some people want to be socialist. Well, they want to be socialist, and this is what they think. Yes, social programs will be one. But socialists, they think that the wealth that one that works very hard and invests and takes all the risk and accumulates a lot of wealth, they think that wealth should be divided amongst everybody. And they say it is according to the need of that person. For example, if we have 5 people in this room and I work hard, I make all the money. The other 4 people, well, they don't work. They don't do anything. They want me to, give everybody a piece of the money that I make. That's socialism. That doesn't work for me. People become lazy. There is no incentive for them to get up, go to work, even get an education. They don't have any incentive to life except be lazy and live like a hippie. They think that there is a God-given right for them to be lazy and that other people need to support them. That's socialist. Those are lazy people. Now, why I think it's okay to have socialism in our country is because I do believe that there is people that are truly not able to work. We have people, our senior citizens, they need Social Security. So that money can go to help them. Somebody that is working a full-time job, for example, right? If they are working full-time and they have kids and they can barely make money to buy food, it doesn't matter if that person has this much money. They should still qualify to get food stamps if that's what they need. Sometimes medical is what's needed. And I think that one of the biggest obstacles, if I am going to be, on the socialist side, I think that the income limit to qualify for benefits should be a lot higher, simply because the cost of living is very expensive, especially if you're living in blue cities and states, especially if you live in areas where property taxes are very high. Now, obviously, the amount of money that you make depends on how much you work and what kind of job you go and get. I don't agree with people that think that if we raise the minimum wage to $30 an hour, that everything is going to be perfect. Let me tell you what's wrong with that idea. A lot of businesses like McDonald's, for example, they won't be able to afford to pay employees $30 an hour. Number one, the consumer is not going to want to go spend $25, $30 for a burger. That's not going to work. Nobody wants that. So one, they will lose business. And then these people that are making $30 an hour, we're talking about lazy, entitled people that they just don't want to go to school. They don't want to get an education. They want to get the easiest job. And as long as the minimum wage pays the most, they are happy. well, this is what I call leeches. The problem is this: big businesses won't have a problem with it, but small businesses will go out of business. Now, they have raised the minimum wage to where a lot of businesses, especially small business owners, they can afford to pay more than the minimum wage. So when they raise a minimum wage from, example, $10 to like $15 an hour, like they did in Seattle, right, at the McDonald's, man, those people, it's not like they work harder. They work even worse. Just anybody. Like, you can take your education for granted. For example, you're not going to want to learn history anymore. You're not going to want to learn mathematics. You're not going to want to learn how to read or write better. You're just going to go and say, well, you know what? I know enough. I can go get this job. And minimum wage here says it's $30 an hour. You don't need an education to go sweep and mop a floor and go clean toilets. While I think it's a very honest living and it's okay, you should always strive to make more money. You don't force small business or companies that can only afford to pay this much for this position. You can't go demand the business owner to give you more money. That's not how it works. You can ask, and if they don't do it, and you're truly not happy, and you can do something better, then you go and do it, right? I've been pretty tempted at work, believe me. Man, you know what? I'm going to change this. Let's see if I can. Oh, man. I'm going to change it so that every time that I take a sip of my coffee here, which is going to make my teeth yellow again, all my leftists, all the trolls that come in here that love Donald Trump can take a peek at him every time. Coffee is life. I don't care if you guys don't like my yellow teeth. I will brush my teeth later. All right, let's see what we got. Anybody has any good comments all up in here? Trinity says it's all good, and I appreciate it. They definitely need to raise the minimum wage, says Diva. Diva. So Diva is okay with small businesses going out of business. Here's my question for a lot of these people that have no brains. They want to vote for Mandani in New York. Now, Mandani says that he wants to get rid of billionaires. He wants to tax white people. So racist. And my only question is, okay, so if you get rid of the billionaires that pays most of the taxes in this country, what are you going to do with a bunch of bums that don't believe on making money? How are you socialists are going to survive? Your businesses will go out of business. What are you going to do for money? You're going to start farming like back in the old days where there was no technology? If that's the kind of life you want to live, hey, there's plenty of countries that still live that way. But I can tell you right now, you are not going to survive without billionaires. You are lucky about 50% of the people, I think is what it is, 50% of the people here pay about 3 to 4% taxes. And then the 1% of billionaires, they pay up to 50 to 60% in taxes for this whole country. And then you got the middle class. You guys think rich people don't pay that much taxes. They should pay more. Why? Why? Because they're rich? Because they're billionaires? You think they're taking advantage of you because they pay you less? You go do your own business. You go over there and become a millionaire. It's a capitalist country. Anybody can do it. And then the excuse was like, oh, well, I don't know how to start. I don't know what I would do. Well, that's why you make what you make. This is why I don't complain about rich people. Hey, listen, you won the lotto, you got lucky. But if you are not smart and you're not hardworking, you're going to go broke. It doesn't matter how much money you make. And I believe that if a capitalist, millionaires and billionaires give all their wealth and they what is the word that I'm looking for? They lo reparte. How do you say that? Oh my God, I'm thinking Spanish. A ver, Miguel, how do you say reparte? Okay, they share. They share amongst everybody, okay? They share the money amongst everybody. Everybody gets millions. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. What happens? After some years later, we come back to the same point. Poor people, rich people. It doesn't get fixed. I gave you guys an example of this project that the Showtime had a few decades ago. And it was they're giving a homeless person $300,000, gave him financial advisors, they gave him some therapy help, they helped him how to fix his resume, they helped him find a job. The guy went back to live under the bridge. You just can't fix it. You cannot be lazy and expect the hardworking Americans to take care of you. What are you, some type of baby? What are you, a child? At some point, you got to grow up. I watched the show, one capitalist versus 20 socialists, and I just can't believe how much mental health I saw amongst these 20 people. Like, it was like torture for me to listen, okay? Because they were so entitled. They were so into the rich gotta give me my life. I shouldn't have to work hard. I shouldn't have to sacrifice myself to make money so that I can have a better life. Guys, I don't understand that brain, the thinking mentality of the lazy people. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I was always taught to work hard and you will be able to make some money. And here's the thing, like, education was an incentive for you to say, if I have a better education, I can make more money. And what do I see with the same people? It's like I said, if your mentality is that somebody else has to work and fight for you, you will never go anywhere in life. I'm going to give you an example. There is thousands and hundreds of thousands of students that go to college. They get in debt with this college, $48,000 for this college. And you know what they go study? How to paint. What? You got in debt to learn how to paint? And how you going to make money on that? You're lucky if anybody wants that trash. Not everybody wants garbage. Not everybody thinks like you. Your art is not valuable to anybody. You know, here in Seattle, Washington, they paid $300,000, I think, between $200,000 to $300,000 for some garbage that somebody called in the government. This is not a private thing. This is the government. They pay somebody over $250,000 to make this art that looks like garbage. And this is what they put in Seattle as a decoration. They have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on making something look artistic, according to them, and yet homeless people in downtown Seattle, homeless people on the side of the freeway, they only clean up the homeless when they were building and beautifying the pier in Seattle. That's the only time. And who knows, I haven't gone there for a few months. Maybe I'll take a drive down there and take a look and see what's going on today. But I can tell you that there is a lot of businesses leaving Seattle because of all the homeless problems and how the government, because they don't know how to use a budget or how to manage a budget, and they keep wasting all these millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, we are losing big businesses from Seattle. If you're in Seattle, Washington, you know what I'm talking about. Reacciona Puerto, I don't know what that, Puerto Rico, Boricua. Just found your channel. I'm a fellow patriot spreading the message in Puerto Rico, fighting the socialists that want to take over. Man, keep pushing, brother. Boricuas, long live Boricuas. You know, I love Puerto Rican people, man. You guys actually are pretty strong people as well, and have a lot of Latin spiciness. I love it. But you know what, man? I wish that I can go visit Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico looks beautiful to me, at least from the videos that I've seen, and some friends that I have that live over there show me some videos. I would love to visit Puerto Rico. The one thing that I didn't know about Puerto Rico, though, I didn't know how far south it is. I looked at a map. I thought Puerto Rico was like just right next to Cuba or something. And Puerto Rico's way the hell down south. I didn't know that, but But I'm glad you're in here, and thank you for the 5, brother. Appreciate it. Uh, so a lot of people that live in third world countries or that have lived in a socialist, system, they know the poverty that it brings. Now, I'm going to tell you where it works okay, all right? Now, my wife is from Samoa. Oh, she's from American Samoa. But the Samoan culture, they have a socialist chief system, okay? And why I say socialist is because in this Samoa, in the villages, this is how it worked back in the day before money was a big deal, right? In Samoa, everybody lived free. They just farmed, they fish, they make their clothing out of the palm tree leaves, etc. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful culture. They have some really bad, horrible stuff that happened too, because they used to be cannibals up to the 50s. My wife is laughing. They used to be cannibals up to the 50s, and that was crazy. But that's for another story, okay? But here's where socialism works, okay? So they have a high chief, and then they have other chiefs, right? Chiefs are just titles for head of households. And the high chief is a good chief. And any wealth, any food, anything that they acquire, they will divide it amongst everybody according to their need. If somebody was getting married, the whole village will come together and they will go and make a small house and the land that is theirs, okay? Nobody can take that land from there. They cannot sell it. They can't do anything. They can only live in it and give it to the kids as inheritance. So the whole village will come together. This is socialism. The whole village will come together and everybody pitches in. And they give this person food. They help them build a house, right? When they get children, boom, they get a little bit more help. They get more food. But everybody has to go to work. If you were an elder, you work your butt off. All your youth in your life was spent working like a slave. That's how hard they work. And I mean that in a good way, not the bad slave way. This is just like a metaphor. And you know what? That works. But then what happens? Because there's a socialist system, they happen to get a bad high chief. Now all of a sudden, the high chief's immediate family has abundance of food, they got the best house, and everybody else in the village starts starving. Their house starts to crumble. They don't get attention anymore. This is what happens when you depend on the government to do everything for you and depend that everybody else is going to put their part. The difference in capitalism is you have the right to private owning a business. So you have a privacy. You can be your own boss. You can own your stuff. The government doesn't own it. Yes, you pay taxes, and you will pay more the more money you make, right? But if the government decides to be bad, you are your own business owner, and you can take that wherever you want to take it. And that is a big difference between being a socialist system and a capitalist system. We know that in New York, there's a lot of millionaires and a lot of billionaires. Mondani and the rest of the idiot New Yorkers that are going to vote for this mayor, because he's a communist Marxist. You guys know why, right? His father was a Marxist, and he is a communist. So that's exactly what they're going to do. So they're going to privatize for the government, not for you to be a business owner. No, their government is going to own the grocery stores, the chain of stores. So food will be given according to what the government says. And then you're going to have, of course, you're going to have a free bus. Yes. And they think that because most of the money comes from the millionaires, from the rich people, they think, oh, we're just going to squeeze the milk out of that cow. We're just going to squeeze it out. We're just going to get the money. But guess what's going to happen? All the poor people that are depending on all the taxes from the rich, from the millionaires, from the billionaires, what they're going to do is they're going to make those rich people leave New York. And when they leave, who's going to give them money? Every lazy American that has been depending on socialism to work for them, they will no longer be able to create wealth. And then you're going to have a high poverty rate, even worse that you've ever seen in your life. That's going to become a third world country shithole, as they call it. Because people think that because somebody else has so much wealth is very unfair. And that's not how it works. You don't get blessed by being envious of your brother's blessings. You work hard and try to do the right thing, make the right investments, go to get the right education if you can. Why do you think a lot of Americans that dropped out of school, why do you think they sacrifice themselves working 2-3 jobs? Janitors, they go work at a fast food restaurant. They go and get any job that they can get. To do what? So that they can get out of it? No. So that their children can actually get the education that they took for granted. So that the children can have a chance, because they need money. Their children are going to have a chance to an education, and they will make a better decision, hopefully, in their life. And they're going to take advantage of the capitalist system. So if you guys want to get into the definition of what those things are, I will say this, and I don't know, I think it's Miguel or Renee, once somebody here said it, but the Bible says, he that doesn't work does not get to eat. Here we go. So this is what capitalism is, and I'm going to go ahead and read it, so verbatim, and then we're going to talk about what it really is. Capitalism is primarily private individuals and corporations own the means of productions like factories, lands, and resources, right? The economic motivation, the profit motive drives economic activity with businesses seeking to maximize profit, okay? Market forces, well, prices for goods and services are determined by the interaction of supply and demand in free markets. Bless you. And then we have economic freedom. High degree of economic freedom for individuals and businesses. Notice how we didn't say businesses. High degree of economic freedom for individuals and businesses. Here's socialism. Socialism is ownership. Here we go. The means of production are owned collectively or by the state, is the example that I gave you about the village from Samoa. The economic motivation, it says, it aims to reduce inequality and provide for the common welfare. You like to live in welfare? I get it. You can have it. That's fine. But when you run out of money, you're screwed. Market role, it says the market may still play a role, but the state also plays a significant role in resource allocation. Who does? The state. Not the individual, not the small business owner, not any kind of business owners. The state, in this case, will be your government. And they will do the resource allocation and regulation. Your income, it says, income is often redistributed to create a more equal society. Isn't it wonderful? You're going to work your butt off and make a lot of money, and I'm going to be lazy and do nothing and tell you, hey, man, my back hurts, but I still want my money. That's your socialism. Now, let's go even deeper, because socialism, I said in small areas it works, right? We have a welfare system. We have social services that are given to people, okay? And capitalists pay for that. Not socialists, not communists. The capitalists actually pay for those programs. Okay, now here's communism. This is probably the worst, I think. It says all property, including the means of production, is owned communally, and private property is eliminated. Now, what is commune? Communally, to me, it means that the government is going to have ownership. Like Mondani in New York wants to have communally owned grocery stores, a chain of grocery stores. He wants to control your fare for your bus, which he's going to try to tax the rich people for it. And that's how they go. Now, the economic motivation, this is really great. Communists, they really know how to motivate people. It says there is no profit motivation. Oh, man, if you don't like to make money, this is definitely for you. Vote for Mondani, will ya? I can't wait to see what they're going to do, how to destroy New York. Goods are distributed based on need, from each according to his ability to each according to his need. Man, that sounds so great. Markets are eliminated with the state controlling all economic activity. Tell me that you want a communist country. What it say? Markets are eliminated. The state controls all of the economic activity. Let me guess. We're going to have a communist leader that will never be a dictator, of course, like Maduro in Venezuela, like Xi from China, like Putin from Russia, right? They will never be like that, of course. They will be the good communist leader that will make sure everybody's fed, clothed, and all needs are met, because that's how it works in a perfect world. Oh, wait, we don't live in a perfect world. The political system is theoretically a stateless society, but in practice often involves a one-party state with total control. And what do Democrats want? Again, I'm sorry. I apologize, my American Democrats, you real patriots. It's not you. It's the communists that we have in office right now that call themselves Democrats, so that they can get the black people to vote for them, so that they can get the loyalist Democrats to vote for them. That's why they call the party Democrats. But if they call the party what it really is, which is a communist, Marxist, socialist party, you wouldn't think the same way about them, especially now that you know the difference between the three forms of government. We like capitalism because capitalism takes care of socialism. Socialism does not take care of capitalism or communism, or the communism does not take care of socialism and capitalism. Only capitalism works. Why? Because they make a lot of money and they pay a lot of taxes. So there you have it. That's what I feel about capitalists versus socialists versus communists. Believe me, you don't want, definitely 100%, you don't want a communist, a party. 99.9%, you do not want a socialist country. You don't want that. 100%, you want capitalism. It's the way it works. Capitalists, it gives you an incentive. What is that incentive? You work hard. You get the money. You save. You invest. You get to retire soon. You get to retire young. Now, there's people out there, and I don't agree with this part, but I can see why they make their argument. They make their argument that retiring, I think right now, the retiring age is 67, I think. And you can retire at 62 years old. Now, if you retire at 67, you get the full benefit of your Social Security, right? If you retire at 62, which would be early retirement, you still get your benefit, but they take a chunk out of it. So you don't get the full money, okay? Now, I think that's okay. Where I don't agree with is this. I don't feel like I've been working my butt off since I was 16 years old so that I can retire at the age of 80. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to 70. So, no, I don't want to retire when I can't walk anymore. I don't want to retire when I can't enjoy my kids anymore, right? I want to make sure that I'm still strong enough so that I can actually enjoy retirement living. Now, what is the problem with my mentality? I lose my case when I argue this, because if by the age of 62, which is where I can retire young, right, I will not have enough money for that time, according to inflation, according to demand, according to the changes in the economy, I probably won't be able to afford a living in that time. So being on a fixed income, it becomes very difficult. And this is why I love the big, beautiful bill, which unfortunately, I don't believe Democrats are going to extend this big, beautiful bill if they win the next election. My hope is that Republicans keep winning. Right now, they are the party fighting for America. Used to be the Democrats. You remember that? There was a time where us Democrats, we were the party. That was the national party right there. And I don't know. These people in Congress, now we're Republicans, but these people in Congress have been in office for so long. They went from being good American patriots, arguing for protected borders, against illegal immigration. They were for tariffs because the world was tariffing us, and they were for it. And what is the only thing that I see different from this same old politicians? I don't think it has anything to do with the age. I think it has a lot to do with money. And this is where the systems get corrupted. Money. I've looked into a lot of these old politicians, and they have benefited millions of dollars from crazy pharma. You guys know this. I don't even have to explain it. You guys know this. Democrats, Republicans, all Americans know this, right? And we have allowed them to control our lives. You remember COVID? So Robert F. Kennedy, he just had the hearing, right? And I'm going to tell you, Pocahontas, Bernie, crazy Bernie, these people, all the Democrats went off on Robert. And I feel bad because they didn't ask questions in a nonpartisan like they were supposed to, right? It's supposed to be a nonpartisan issue. They're supposed to be there to argue so that they can find out, wait, Robert, tell me something. Why do you think that this drug has been this bad? No, they didn't ask those questions. They made it a partisan problem. Every single time that they will refer to him, somehow, my hero back there, President Donald Trump, his name came up in the administration. So, you know what? They made it a partisan. They could have worked together, and they would have been, even though they made a lot of millions of dollars from big pharma, they could have said, okay, hey, you know what? It's time, right? Let's come back to the people. Let's go ahead and ask some questions. How can we get better? What can we do to make our situation better? They didn't do that. They misused their time doing something productive when they could have done something even better than being productive. They wasted it on their nonsense, on their partisan nonsense. We don't care about blue or red. We don't care about Democrat or Republican. We care about America. What are we doing to keep America healthy? Has nothing to do with the party. And I have heard President Trump multiple times, all they got to do is ask, and we can give them help. I have even heard the panel from MSN asking these Democrat mayors and governors, if you were to get another 5,000 police officers on your city, would that help? They said, no, we need more affordable housing. Socialist, communist. That's what they are. They don't care that people are dying left and right. They don't care how many people die on the weekend on Labor Day. They don't care. That's a communist. You want a dictator? That's what they do. As long as they're making money for themselves, they don't care what happens to you. Now go ask the mayor of Chicago or the governor of Chicago, how much money do they have in their budget to spend on the American communities? I'm not going to mention a color. Just on the American community, the American citizens. How much money do they have to spend on them? Because so far they've been giving $15,000 to illegal immigrants for at least 2 years, and they have their rent taken care of. They've been filling up hotels and everything. In the meantime, the actual American that are working out there are homeless. They're having a hard time paying their rent. Nobody's helping them. They tell them they don't have money for them, but yet foreigners are getting the help, and the actual American citizens are not getting jack squat. Go tell them why they do that. You can say and argue, that doesn't make sense. Why? No, they wouldn't do it for money. If they don't have money, they don't have money. Why would they do it? Think about it. The longer they stay in power, the more money they make. In the meantime, us, we the people that work, that pay taxes, we got to stress about making rent. We got to stress about mortgage. We got to stress about high price insurance. We got to stress about every taxes that they raise on us. Do you think they stress about the taxes being raised? It doesn't come out of their pocket. They laundry money through NGOs. Now, I've been saying this for a very long time, and the truth is coming out little by little. Specifically here in Seattle, Washington. Oh, they've done a couple of edits, and believe me, these edits are showing that there has been hundreds of millions of dollars misused here in Washington state, not along other blue cities and states. You guys know what I'm talking about. I know Rush Bay lives in Eastern Washington. I know you know what I'm talking about. You know what these people are doing here. You remember Ocasio-Cortez? Do you remember her when she first started in the running for government, right? As a representative, right? I'm sure everybody knows this, right? Remember when she was making $175,000 as a rep, and she says that she couldn't afford rent? You guys remember that, right? She couldn't afford rent. Well, guess what being a politician has done for her? She is now worth millions. As a matter of fact, let me take a look and see how much it's worth. How much is AOC worth? Let's see how much it says. Just curiosity. Maybe she's maybe 100,000. Maybe a couple of 100,000. I mean, her salary is not that much. Here, of course. Let's see. Oh, they don't want to tell me. Hold on, I gotta see this. Come on. I like how they hide their monetary. Here in Washington, I go to the government's website, and they don't want to tell you. They don't want to disclose it, and I think they should. Doggone it, they should disclose it. So, all right, let's go back to the first comment that I got here. It says, this is what it says about her. She says, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez net worth is approximately $49,000. Who believes that? Who believes he's worth only $49,000? Let's see what you got here, Nate. Thanks for the $5, bruh. Never fall for the Democrat lies. Just look at Canada if you want to see their plan of destruction. I've been saying it, Nate. I've been saying it. And Canada is following the same footsteps that Venezuela followed. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of enlightenment about Venezuela. Back when Maduro, thanks for the $5, Nate. I appreciate you. When Chavez was president, right before he died, obviously, when Chavez was president of Venezuela, you got to understand this. I know Venezuelans' oil is very dirty, but it's very manageable. We can still use it. We have refineries that easy peasy for us, okay? So we can get a cheap price and we can take advantage of the oil. Okay, so he promised the Venezuelan people that he was going to fix poverty. And he did. He brought it back down to, I believe it was like between a 2 and a 3% poverty level, right? And he used this socialist communist plan, which now is just communist, to be honest, right? But that's what it is. So he died. Maduro took over, which is the dictator that they have now, right? He's been following. Now, mind you, this is like 15, 20 years old together, okay? He's been following the socialist communist book that Chavez used to lower 2%. And what did I tell you guys at the beginning of my talk about socialism and capitalism? We can share all the wealth of everybody amongst everybody, but eventually we will come back to the same hole that there is poor people and there is rich people. What's happened with Maduro, guess what happened to the economy? Anybody take a guess? It went down to about 2 to 3% poverty, and everything was great. Somebody give me, what do they think is the percentage today? Just a guess. Don't be Googling, just guess it. Don't worry, Max. You won't get deported unless you're illegal. BJ, you Googled it, didn't you? It is 90%. 90% poverty. This was one of the wealthiest countries in the world, guys. It's crazy. Well, thank you, BJ. You know, I'm telling the truth, right? You confirm it. That is correct. Oh, you know Venezuelans. That's why. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something about Venezuelans. Venezuela, believe it or not, I don't care how bad Maduro and his regime military is. I'm telling you this right now. I'm being completely honest. Venezuelans are such beautiful people. I mean, that's the experience that I have gotten, okay? They work very hard. They are proud of working hard, of having good working ethics. Women are beautiful. Venezuelan women have won more Miss Universes than anybody else I can think of in the world. They're known for that, you know. They're known for their soap operas, you know. Now it's Mexico. Mexico has more soap operas today, I think, than anybody else out there. But Venezuela was known as one of the richest countries in the world, and you know, that's just how I see it. But you know, unfortunately, the desperation of Venezuelans now had pushed them to once again believe the lies of Maduro, and they're joining the military. Guys, they're using children for military. You know, 13, 14-year-olds, they're signing up for the military because they're going to make some money. And then you see this 90% poverty. Who would not be desperate enough to want to go sacrifice themselves for a dictator, for a tyrannical government? We wouldn't, right? We wouldn't do that, but they do. And that's crazy. Miguel says, Edward says, Miguel, never vote for a Democrat. Not today. At least not today. 102 says Colombia took Venezuela's side on this. I thought Colombia decided not to. Did I miss something? I thought they decided not to. Paul Krell says the rich and the poor. Let's get it. It's systematic, says Jason. It could be systematic, but let's read a couple of comments. I'll give you guys a chance. I've been talking a lot. And then we'll come back to what we have in our country. Tex says, I bet he doesn't even go out to town or anything. We all know if I sees you, you're gone. That's not how you spell bye-bye, by the way. Roberto Alcala says, now the Americans being made greater. Can we help all the victims of the 9/11? We are not great yet. I mean, we are, but we want to make it even greater. We're not there. We're fighting too many crazy lunatics right now. But we will eventually get there. Adam says Venezuelan women are known for cheap working the corner in Mexico City. Bruh, come on. That's desperation. I've been saying it. And desperation will make you join an army of a dictator as well. Or they're probably just fear for their life. I mean, I don't pass anything from Maduro. He can just threaten his people to do his service. Borsalino says, Dennis, you're the man. Thanks, man. You know how to make a brother feel special. Venezuela failed because they stopped framing and put all their eggs in one oil basket. And that is true. And that is exactly why Chavez was able to bring poverty levels down to like 2 or 3%, as I say. If somebody can search it and put it on there, I think that's what it was. But that can only go so far, right? And, and I remember this was a few years ago. I don't know if it was during Biden's administration, but I was hearing from Venezuelans that they were not able to get food, like Maduro was keeping food from getting to them or something like that. And that he was just destroying everybody that didn't agree with him. I mean, all the people that ran against him for government, dead. He got rid of them. So there is a lot of good Venezuelans that could have, run for government, and they're in hiding. They are waiting for the United States of America to take care of Maduro so that they can have democracy back in their country. Heath, welcome, brother. How are you? Man, I haven't seen you in a while, Heath. I was wondering where you've been. God bless you, brother. Thanks for joining. I think Heath is my Cherokee brother, I think, if I remember correct. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, I think. Let's see. Trinity says Dennis doesn't mind trolls because you all push the algorithm. Plus, they make me laugh, Trinity. They do. But please, don't spam. God bless everyone. Be peaceful and respectful. That is right. Well, we have a freedom of speech in this country, and the only thing I ask, just don't be racist. Nobody likes a douche, okay? So that's all I ask. And if you dish it, you better be able to take it. Sometimes you're going to get my ADHD to come out, and I just don't want to go off on anybody. I just want to give love. But I'm glad that somebody in here knows about Venezuelans because they know I'm telling the truth. And it is the same thing that's happening to Canada. Canada is going on the same path. Wait a minute. I just remember this. I don't know if you guys knew this. Okay. Freedom of speech, Gene. That's right. Thank you, Paul. Glad you're in my corner, brother. Scott Norris says, I love to play golf, so it's great to see President Trump enjoying the game. He works hard enough for our country. Man, if there's somebody that deserves to play golf, it's our old man, Donald Trump. We love our beautiful POTUS. I don't know about you, but when I listen to him, I don't know, maybe I am brainwashed. Because I just think, man, I wish he was my dad. This is why we call him Daddy sometimes. We're going to call him Daddy Trump. Oh, Adam. You're misbehaving here. Man, moderator Trinity, she's rocking the house. Cheryl says Trump never sleeps. And Cheryl, let me tell you something. I try to do what this old man does. But at 49 years old, he is 30 years older than me, has more stamina than me. That's a little bit shameful, to be honest, a little bit embarrassing. But his mind doesn't stop working. He makes time to try to make a joke, and people take it the wrong way. What was the joke that he was trying to make about that? What was it? I think it was something like, in this country they will kill reporters and nobody's going to care. I mean, I care. I'm not saying that I would. Something like that, and he just kind of like almost wanted to say, well, if they get rid of you guys or you, that's fine. We won't pay a ransom for you guys, but for you, we will pay the ransom. Something like that, He tried to make a joke, and then he retracted right before he even said it. But I knew where he was going with it. And I appreciate his sense of humor. You have to remember this. Donald Trump has been in the entertainment business. He has his own shows. He's been sponsoring a lot of businesses. A lot of entrepreneurs have been sponsored by Donald J. Trump. And we love him from before, even when he was having issues with his wives, his marital status. I'm going to tell you something. People judge me for my divorce, right? For my first divorce. I've been married for 14 years with my Samoan wife. We have a great life. We have up and downs. We argue, we fight. Oh my God, I don't want to be here no more. But we have such an understanding that the good outweighs the bad. And this is why 14 years together. Now, somebody says that because I am a Christian, right? And I believe in God, and I say, praise God and thank you, Jesus. They think, oh my gosh, my wife just texted me. She's probably watching. It's just a joke, babe. I take it back, guys. I didn't mean it. But somebody told me, yeah, I like those crocodile tears. You won't believe how I started this chat today about socialists. And that's who these people are. But, I forgot where I was. So they were telling me that God hates divorce, and I agree. But the Bible also says that the one only excuse that you can give a person divorce for is an infidelity. And it wasn't me. I became a boring person for my ex-wife. I'm sorry, I had to say it so you guys can stop accusing me of stuff. I became boring because all I did was work, come home, spend time with my kids, go to work, spend time with my kids, go to work, spend time with my kids. I just wanted to have my family. That's all I wanted. And whenever I would plan a trip, a vacation or something, she was always crazy jealous about me talking to any female. And, well, came to find out, well, now you guys know we got a divorce because of that. And yes, I went through a very dark time. I'm not going to lie. I was not man enough to take my kids with me. I didn't even want to, give myself a chance to live. Let's just say it that way. Okay. But by the grace of God, I was able to come back from all that. This is like decades ago. Okay. So don't feel bad for me. It's just kind of hard to say stuff without making somebody look bad because, maybe she has changed her life as well. And, everything is great. So don't get too caught up on that. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. So again, thank you guys for your support. By the way, thank you for liking my videos. I know they're probably not as exciting as I would like them to be, but I appreciate all my patriots supporting my channel, all the American people that I love so much. I get to have friends like Trinity and Miguel and Omar, and I mean, Irma, which I haven't seen here today, I don't think, Ozzy, the few people that have come here from day one, Rush Babe also as well. Heath was one of the ones here from the probably in the middle of when I started doing this and has been supportive. So I appreciate all my patrons that come on here. And I know some of you have been able to join the membership. So I appreciate that as well. And I got to say, Trinity, thank you so much for that. That was all Trinity Meadows' idea. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have a membership to join, people to join. So you guys help me big by giving the video a like and by subscribing. And you guys do that all the time. So I appreciate that. God bless you guys for doing that. But going back to our socialism, capitalism world here, let me tell you something. Thank you, Trinity. Do not ever think that this country would be better off with a communist leader. New York, the way it looks, they are doomed. I seen this Republican candidate in there. Man, I wish that he could win, but there's something about him. Maybe he's a little bit too passionate like I am. I don't know. He's not being very popular with the people. He's not winning anybody. He's coming in with the right mentality, safety, protection, and allowing the president to help out if need to. I love that, but man, it's sad. New York has nobody that can really represent their state and do something for the people. Illuminator, God bless you. Love that rainbow. God bless you, my friend. I've made it 65 years and my health isn't bad, says Edward. God willing, I have another 15 good years. So, Edward, how many more years do you have to be able to retire comfortably? Honestly. Serious question. I know, man. That's the problem. Cuomo is the closest thing that they got is for a candidate. And even President Donald Trump is supporting him because he knows that even Cuomo would be better than a communist. At least Cuomo will try, I guess, I don't know, maybe he's just as stupid as the other guy. But, I mean, I don't know. Man, listen, Chris Cuomo has changed. I know that's not him. That's his brother. But Chris Cuomo has changed. I think he tries to be more impartial. He's trying to be neutral. He's trying to be more like us, right? We don't care about Democrats or Republicans. We care about American patriots. And this is why we're able to love Democrats and love Republicans. Well, besides the point that I used to be a Democrat. I guess that's easy for me to do, right? But the point is that the one thing that is bad with Cuomo is the whole thing that he did with the senior citizens. You guys remember that for COVID, right? I think that's one of the worst things. There's other things that, right, we can put up with, whatever, but let's be honest. Cuomo or Mondani? I said Cuomo. Only because there's nobody else. Nobody else. Yeah. Cool. Renee says, I do see Chris Cuomo on Nations News. I watch it sometimes, and I see him struggle still. He tries not to pick a side, but but he does sometimes. He just had O'Reilly, which I don't watch either, but I have seen a couple of episodes of O'Reilly. It's just he talks so slow, he puts me to sleep. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, maybe I put somebody to sleep with my boring show as well, but you know, I try to give you guys the interaction, right? This is why I do the lives. So my job is to tell the truth, but I also, hopefully, I can entertain you a little bit, right? Hopefully we can make some conversations. Sometimes we mention God. Sometimes it's mostly about politics. I can see that. We talk about, immigration. It doesn't matter how much we say we love migrants. Those people out there, they're still going to hate us for saying that we don't want illegal immigration to happen in this country. That's just how it is. Samsung, Dennis, you are a true patriot. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you, Samsung. I appreciate my man. Muchas gracias, señor. Earth Heaven says, shut it. Hey, Omar, what is Earth Heaven? Who is that guy? What is he? Let's see if you get what I'm saying. What is he? Beta. That's my boy right there. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Beta. I threw a couple of hearts in there for you, bro. Trinity's also catching on to it. Oh, man. That's it. That's right. He was in there with Stephen A. Smith, Miguel. And so here's the thing. Okay, a lot of us that were Democrats before. Hey, Johnny, thanks for joining the chat, brother. A lot of us that were Democrats before that have now, we're Republicans, we're supporting Trump, and right now, let's face it, guys. We got to know when we're wrong, right? If I say something wrong in here, I apologize. Okay, correct me, but you got to show me a fact. You got to show me some proof, okay? I try to bring out the articles that I found where the government here in Seattle, Washington admitted that illegals voted. That's gone. I can't find it. The one from California with Gavin News, I can't find it either. And the only thing that you can probably still find, and I couldn't find it for some reason, was that California was thinking about having a meeting to see if they would allow illegal immigrants to vote for mayors and governors for the states. So I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I can't find it. So now it's like I'm just lied about it. So there it is. Let's see. Paul says their brains are so brainwashed. Well, Paul, that's what they think about us. They think that we're brainwashed. Why would they say that? I mean, I know he's back here. He's my hero. And I know he's in my cup. That doesn't mean I'm brainwashed. I know I'm making America great again, but that doesn't mean I'm brainwashed, guys. Oh, man. Go President Trump. That's right, Savannah. Thanks for joining the chat. James says they need medieval attention. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if it's just me. You guys watch movies like, well, I'm a gamer, so I used to play this game called Fallout, right? It's about this nuclear war, blah, 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 and then citizens were down in this, vaults and stuff and things like that, right? But what is that? Puerto Rico. The chat on my phone is frozen. That's why I got a chat over here a little bit bigger on my screen so I can read it because my eyes are tired. Everything is blurry, guys. And anyway, so the country is destroyed. The bridges, they don't exist. And you go around, right, with the weapons that you find and whatever ammunition you find, and you see those like zombie dogs and zombie humans out there. And everybody that's out there has been infected by nuclear radiation. Okay, and everybody is a gatherer, is a hunter. Now it's what do you call the ones that go after leftovers? What do you call those? I can't think in English right now the word scavengers, right? They all become scavengers. And oh, don't do it, Omar. You be playing hours, 8, 12 hours straight, and you don't even know. Now, I don't have that much time to play like that no more, but that was me back then. Yeah, scavengers. Thank you, Johnny. And I swear to you guys, I know I said I never will say I swear, but it's just a bad habit. But I'm telling you guys, this mental ill people, and again, we're not talking about Democrats. They are supporting the Democratic side, but they have mental problems. This is how they want to live. Seriously. Now, I wish that I can support them, but you and I both know if we destroy the economy in this country, what do you think is going to happen to our strength? What do you think Russia and China are waiting for? Russia and China are waiting for us to implode in our country. They want us to fight each other. And right now, they're getting it. They're getting the action. They know that communist judges, I said it, communist judges are on the side of the Chinese and the Russian Communist Party. That's right, I said it. Communist judges, when they see that Donald Trump's tariffs are smart, wise POTUS, when they know that his tariffs are working, why would these communist judges try to block them? Because they're communist. Because they make money. They're not going to tell you they're making money, but they're making money. I told you guys this before, in the last couple of decades, we're missing over $22 trillion. Nobody knows where the money went. But mark my words, all this stuff is going to come out in the open. It's being investigated, and when they find out exactly what I've been talking about, I know it sounds weird. It's not a prophecy either. It's common sense. It's what we've seen. Money doesn't just disappear. Nancy Pelosi doesn't come out with hundreds of millions of dollars out of nowhere. And that's bullcrap that he's got that fair and square from the stock market. Insider trading, that is an absolute thing. Congress knows what businesses or what the stock market is going to do before it does it. There is no way that Nancy Pelosi is going to be smarter than the greatest stock market player ever in history, winning 100% of the time. Not 30%, not 50%. And she did that while she was drunk, says Lisa Bailey. Oh, man, that's right, man. Opinion of an AI. He says, that's correct. Mark says, Big Pharma kickbacks for Bernie and... Oh, man. Did you hear what Robert Kennedy told Pocahontas? When she was like, you told us, Mr. Secretary of Health, you told us that the American people were going to have access to their vaccination, to their vaccine from COVID. And he's like, I'm not taking it away from anybody. But you promised that you wouldn't do that. And he's like, I didn't. Most people can actually afford to go and get it, and they'll get it for free. But you promised that you wouldn't do it. You took $855,000 from Big Pharma, selling out this COVID-19, blah, 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 blah. And you know, he just ate her alive. And the guy, Pocahontas. This is the same Pocahontas that was hugging Mandani. What does that tell you? Bernie goes to the defense on Pocahontas. I get it. They're the same communist. Bernie has been trying to play socialist for the longest. That socialist and communism is like just one little thin line. And he's falling into it. I'm telling you, I know Omar. I know he's a billionaire. And what does he do for a living? Let me see what Bernie does for a living. Besides taking money from us. Let me see. Bernie Sanders' profession. Let's see. I really want to know. Let's see how much he's worth first. Net worth. He's probably worth like a couple $100,000, right? All right. Very, very humble. It's only worth approximately $3 million. Now, what does Bernie Sanders do for a living? Do for business, because he is in Congress. 1941, an American politician and activist serving as the senior United Senator, blah, blah. I guess I won't be able to find that type of information. But yeah, if they don't tell us what he does as a profession for money, just imagine, how much do senators get paid? About 175, right? Is that the right amount? 175? Senator's salary. Let me take a look at that. In 25 and benefits. Let me see. All right, yeah. So I'm right. I'm in there. So the senator's salary is about $174,000 annually, but this can vary for leadership positions, majority and minority leaders, blah blah blah. Plus they get free health care. Pay adjust ethics reform act 4 billion, blah blah blah. It's not to exceed the GS. Senators are covered under the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program and the Federal Employees Retirement System or Civil Service Retirement Systems, offering a retirement pension after 5 years of service. Wait a minute. They get a retirement pension after just 5 years of service? Did you know that? Huh. Thrift savings plan as well, of course. Okay, that's savings though. This members representation allowance. So they get an allowance as well to cover expenses related to their official duties. Of course. Per diem. Senators can receive a per diem allowance for lodging, meals, and incidental expenses incurred while on official business away from their home state. So when Crazy Bernie flies on a private jet, how much is the fuel cost? Because according to this, we pay for it. Death gratuity, a payment equivalent to the senator's annual salary, is provided to their family upon death while in office. Let's see, how much does he spend? Traveling expenses. Let's see if they say anything about his traveling expenses. This is very fun. All right, so according to campaign finance records, Bernie Sanders' political committee spent over $221,000 on private jet charters during the first quarter of 2025 for his fighting oligarchy, which is exactly what they were doing to poor Joe Biden with the digital pen. This expense, which he has publicly defended, drew criticism from some who pointed out to a perceived contradiction with his political stance against excessive wealth. Isn't it great? Excessive wealth to us, but not to them. Oh, he's rich, so $221,000 is nothing. Now, this is where I get so curious about, because I heard that AOC is worth millions today. That's what I thought. Anybody knows how much Ocasio-Cortez is worth today? Because what I found was that she's only worth about $49,000, which I think is bull crap. How can she be net worth $49,000 when her salary is at least $175,000? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Ron says $11 million it costs every time Trump plays golf. He plays golf a lot, he says. Let me see. Let's see. How much? How much does Trump? How much does it cost? Hold on. I don't know how to put this in a question. Does it cost President Trump to golf? Let me see. I'm going to laugh if it's a lot of money. Oh, man, let's see. Well, the price of Donald Trump himself to golf is unknown. It's unknown, man. Stop lying. All right, but it does say something about it. Let's see. Recent analysis show that his trips to his own golf courses have cost U.S. taxpayers tens of millions of dollars as of mid-2025. During his second term, these costs are estimated to be over $52 billion. The expenses are primarily for security and travel. Damn, $52 million. All right, maybe I don't want him to golf that much. I don't believe it, but yeah, you know, it's okay. Somebody put it out there, so AI is going to find it. Let's see. I do know that motorcades are expensive. Yeah. I do know Air Force One is expensive. Yep. Let's see. Cost comparisons. Costs to taxpayers during Trump's second term are reportedly on track to be substantial. By comparison, his golf trips in his term cost taxpayers reported. Oh, guys, wait. I was wrong. First, they said it was $51 million, $52 million that he spent golfing. But wait, there's more. Now, on this other article, it's $151.5 million. Wow. I don't know, guys. Should I believe that? I don't know. Wait. There's one more. This one says it's $78.4 million. No, wait, I'm sorry. There's another one. Okay, this one says it was $10 million. That's better. Oh, my God. He pays $600,000, guys, in contracts for golf. It says the Secret Service reportedly spent over $600,000 in contracts. Okay. $600,000 to play golf. I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. I am sure there's a lot of things going on in here that are wrong. I'm not sure. The HuffPost analysis says this was the estimated taxpayer cost for Trump's golf outings at his own golf courses. Wow, $151.5 million on here. Amazing. $3.4 million per trip. In 2019 Government Accountability Office report found that 4 early trips at Mar-a-Lago cost taxpayers an average of $3.4 million each. The costs included Defense Department, Coast Guard expenses, in addition to Secret Service. $1.1 million for a single trip in 2020 report from the House Committee on Oversight and Reform detail that a 2018 weekend golf trip to Scotland cost taxpayers $1.1 million. Man, I don't know, guys. That's a lot of money. I don't know how I feel about my tax dollars going that much. I mean, not that I pay for them, because mostly it's just the rich people paying them. But still, nonetheless, still a lot of money. So who knows? I don't know, guys. I am having a little bit of doubts on that. But hey, he donates his $400,000 salary. You're right, Levar. That's it. That makes everything better. He donates his salary, guys. Omar, Linda says, why can't you motivate yourself? Linda, there's this thing that we called being humans. Sometimes we need motivation from others. Yes, we all want to be self-starters. We all want to be self-motivated. We all want to just, love everybody perfectly. But sometimes we need support from somebody else. Um, Linda is 100% correct, Omar. You can do anything you put your head into. I agree with that 100%. So let's go, man. You got to push it. All right, push it. Push every day, every day. Cheryl says taxpayers don't pay for Trump's golf. I want to know where these statistics came from then. I don't know, guys. I read a lot of different millions in there. I mean, what is the truth? Are we able to find the truth on the government's website? How do we look at this? How do we look this up so we can get this from the actual government? That is crazy, guys. That's millions and millions of dollars. Guys, there is a Trump golf tracker. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. So, until further notice, golf days will not be updated unless a confirmed sighting of Trump on the golf course occurs. The Trump administration is actively narrative crafting information to hide Trump's declining health, guys, including his published schedule to discourage media questions. Oh, this is the real website right here, guys. It says Donald Trump has golfed 55 days out of 230 days since returning to office. That is 23.9% of the presidency spent golfing. 55 days, guys. That's way too much golfing for this president. I can't even do 2 days in a row. I just can't do it. Let's see. Get this. So I know we said 52 million, right? But this website, it seems to be legit. It says the estimated cost, it's $77 million. Oh, boy. So, do you guys remember that he's also making a ballroom in the White House? Well, that ballroom is $200 million, and other presidents get to use it, will get to use it, reporters, etc. There's going to be a lot of people using this. $200 million, and that's taxpayers' dollars, guys. Right? My Democrats, those leftists in here, $200 million from taxpayers' money, said Schumer. Is that right? Anybody know? Oh, which, by the way, the calendar that they show me in here that he played golf was the weekends. Not one Monday. Let me see. Is there a Monday in here? Oh, yeah. In February, he golfed 3 weekdays, guys. What a lazy president. And $200 million. 200 taxpayer dollars, guys, for the ballroom. Isn't that right? Anybody can confirm that. Greatest deals are made on the golf course. That's right, baby. It's all business. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's a tax break. Edward, are you on the left of the crazies? I didn't say you patriots. I'm talking to the trolls right here. I wanted to tell them, I wanted them to say, yeah, he's spending $200 million of taxpayers' money on the ballroom. We already know that is him. He's paying it, and his donors. Ah, man, people are so gullible. I wanted to see who will actually say something. We're already paying the Secret Service, whether they're with him at the White House, overseas, or playing golf. Trinity, got it. Love Trinity, man. Got so much knowledge. And that is correct. You don't pay that because it's Trump. We pay that for every president. Now, if the prices go up with that, that's different. But you're right, 100% of the money. Thank you for clarifying that. Chuck Schumer has 2 houses. He claims he's a citizen of California. Yeah, of course he is. He also loves Jews more than Palestinians. Oh, wait, no, that's not true either. Man, I'm lying too much today. I think I'm still on the lunatic side here. Let's see. I'm independent and Trump is a clown. Brett LaCroix. Omar, What is Brett? Brett is a beta. That's right, baby. There you go, Brett. You're a beta. Eller says prices are going up, tariffs are taxes. Yes, correct. On both. Good job, bud. Tariff scheme, absolute scam and a joke. Yeah. It's a joke. Eller says when you cut cancer funding to fund your 200 million ballroom. Yeah. Beta. Another beta. I love that you guys already know who that is. We all love JLP, man. Jesse Lee, man, he is a character. I like that guy. God bless America. Nothing is good about the economy, but you still love them. What is so wrong about the economy, my friend? You know, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to say this to defend our horrible Bob Ferguson governor here in Seattle, Washington. I'm not going to say this to give him credit because it has nothing to do with him. This bastard keeps raising taxes on Washingtonians like he's just making coffee in the morning. But I'm going to tell you something. I was paying over $5 a gallon when Biden was president. Right now, we're still paying a lot, but it's dropped to $3.91 last time I checked. Might have gone up a little bit, but it's under $4, okay? And that's a big difference. It would be lower if our governor was not charging us an extra $1 a gallon for gasoline. I find that interesting. A lot of these representatives here in Washington State, they gas up on the outer parts of the county where it's more expensive. So they save money on the cheaper area. Man, you know what? One day, guys, I promise you, if God ever does allow me to run for governor here in Washington State, and I happen to beat this guy, my first public speech is going to tell him, you're fired. Oh, man, that will be, you know what? I won't even take a salary. Oh, wait, I'm not rich. I need the salary. But don't worry. Like Trump, I cannot be bought with money. Because I'm one of those guys that believes, hey, what's going on, Ozzy? Welcome back to the chat, baby. 289. I hate New Hampshire. 289. This guy. He'll come over here and bragging about the gas. Yeah, right, Steven? I know, man. I'm just joking around over here, but I don't know. I think it's too late to put my name on the ballot, but I think for the next time, matter of fact, I'll look it up. Oh, guys, I got some bad news for you guys and for me because I love doing this. I am going to go off the grid. I still going to have my phone. If I got signal, I'll probably do a live, but it's not going to be great. I'm going to go spend this weekend at a cabin with my wife and a couple of friends. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll tell you what. I know that I'm going to have reception in the morning. So I will see. Maybe I go live. I'll probably be driving when I do this live. But yeah, once I catch the ferry, goodbye signal, I think. Okay. But I'm going to try to do a live in the morning, very, very early in the morning. No gym tomorrow. They don't open until later. But I will try to go live in the morning before I actually take off for my trip. And then Sunday, I'll probably be heading back this way about 3. I should be here around 5. Maybe I'll do a live for Sunday night as well. And if I got good reception, where I'm going to be in Seabeck. So if I have good reception, I hope that I get a chance to do a live. I really like talking with you guys. And I just can't keep the information to myself. I am very grateful that I get internet and that God allows me to have these chats with you guys. Eye of the Tiger says your jaw and brains are weird. Very weird, my friend. I will blame my mix of Lenca Indian and some Spaniard. Probably the ugly side will be from the Spaniards, I think. Let's blame the white man always. Oh man, guys, I have skin. I have a lot of oil on my skin. Insoles, they just don't stick to me. You can't make fun of something that I agree with. So, Lisa Bailey, God bless you. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the dues there, sis. Appreciate it. See, I see how you guys show me love. I appreciate that, man. Very, very much. And this is why I love chatting with you, because you guys make me laugh. Some people actually, the one says, leave Washington, please. Cellulite Podcast, how you doing, brother? Salutations, OG. God bless you, brother. Thanks for stopping by, man. I think one of your moderators has come in here and say hello for you as well. So we'll see, man. I'm still thinking about your collab one day, maybe. If you know how to do it, I don't know how to invite people to here to do a collab on live, but I'll be more than happy, man, to share your thoughts. From what I see on your channel, brother, you got a lot of cursing. So hopefully you don't corrupt me too much, because then I'll go crazy cursing myself. But I do like that you tell the truth, man. I really do like that. I watch your channel there for a bit. I have very little time to myself, but I love doing this. This is actually what I'm passionate about doing. You know, guys, I'm at work all day, and you won't believe that it actually makes me sad that I can't come over here and say hello to you. All right, Lisa, God bless you. Thank you for being here tonight. Have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you another time. Carlos says, Dennis, you, not Lenca. Now you are from the native Yakima tribe, like Pocahontas. Yakima, if you guys don't know what Yakima tribe is, that is a native tribe. I believe it's in Toppenish. It's not Yakima, it's Yakima. Yakima Nation. I used to kind of work. We used to cover shifts in Toppenish, which is in towards eastern Washington. And that's how I know that the Yakima Nation is over there. Let's see. Yes, Cellulite has subbed, and he's also a truth teller, and he does review videos and stuff like that. So we're gonna collab one of these days and probably have a live together, and we're gonna be able to talk. The both of us, maybe 2-3 more people, who knows? We'll figure it out. All I know is that he's my brother from another mother, and we are gonna talk truth. He's gonna speak from the Black community side, and I'm gonna talk about from the Latin community side. We're gonna join forces one of these days and speak the truth to the American people. And this is one thing that I believe, and you can correct me, Cellulite, if you're still here. It's that when we say Americans, we don't mean the white people. We don't mean Hispanics. We don't mean black people. We mean Americans. And that means everybody that is an American citizen. We are not racist. Yes, we see color because that's the way we know how to identify with each other, but we are not racist at all. So with that being said, man, God bless you, brother. God bless your movement. I hope that you keep growing. You're doing a great job. Hope to see more of you out there. Yo Soy Chicano says the one, Viva la Raza. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Viva la Raza, the one. Let me ask you a question. Who was Lowrider written by? Come on. You say Viva la Raza, I want to hear it. Low Rider. Come on. Who did the song Lowrider? Was it a Chicano or a Mexican? Let me see. No, not the one. Answer the question. No, not war. Who made the Lowrider song? A Chicano or a Mexican? That's right. Blaxican. That's right. War. Huh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. All right. You know. All right. You're right. It's war. Let's see. It's actually a Blaxican, as we call, I believe. It's a Chicano fool. It was a black man, bro. It was a black man that made the song Lowrider. And Mexicans play that like a Chicano made it. But we know the truth. It was a black brother that made that song. So give him credit. I'll be taking credit for that. Here, another question. Another question for Chicanos. Just Chicanos, because a lot of people don't know this. What does SA mean? Now, if you live in California, you should know what that means. I'll give you a hint. SA is not an accent. That is what it is. That's how you pronounce it. SA. Let's see. Nope. Omar, come on. I said Chicanos. I want to see what's up. Nope. Dude, nope. Guys, the tip is I'm not pronouncing it with an accent. It's English. SA. Homeboy. No. SA. They are initials. No. Thanks for the dues, Heath. No. It's this right here. That's what they're saying. There is no blacks in Mexico. They sent to Caribbean. Pancho Villa was half black, my man. I bet you didn't know. You're a stereotype Mexican. No, you don't know what SA means. You guys think it's this, but it's not. There are initials, and it means Chicano. Maybe after I write it, you know. This will make more sense to you. How's that? That's what SA means, Chicano. It is a Mexican. Chicano is normally a Mexican that's born in America. But after the Chicano movement, they'll say a lot of Hispanics that were born in another country or from another Latin country that were born here were all called Chicanos. And they started using the word ASA because not everybody was Mexican. Some were Salvadorian, some were Honduran, Guatemala, etc. So they started to use the initials SA. So it doesn't mean that one or this or that, like in Spanish. Oh, that's nice, man. But, you know, some crazy-ass people, man. You guys remember the time when Lightest Shade of Brown was out? Man, I used to love those guys, man. They had some good songs. Let's see. Southern Chicago's Marcos Ortiz. Welcome, my Latino brothers, man. I know you guys are a bunch of assholes sometimes, but I still love you guys. I'll throw down a couple cervezas with you guys. God bless you guys anyway. Oh, that's right. Somebody mentioned, I forgot to say this yesterday. You guys keep throwing me off track. But somebody mentioned something about drinking beer. Was it you, Miguel? You were talking about Catholics or somebody drinking beer. I can't remember what the question was. You don't want to go today? You want to stay home? Oh, that means I'm going extra long today then. All right. Yeah, well, he's cooling down for about 5 minutes at weird. Okay, that's how I know you're a coconut. The one, boy, man. I hope you're a youngster that don't know what it's saying. Jesus te ama says beloved life. Amen, amen. No alcohol, guys, please. Come on. Nobody be drinking no tequila in here. Let's see. So here's a question, guys. I know I see this coming in here a lot. And a lot of people tell me that I'm a sellout or I'm a traitor. But let me ask you something. If I made mistakes when I was young, and I am giving my children advice on how to be better, no matter what mistakes I've made in my life, and I don't want them to make those same mistakes, would that make me a bad father? The answer is no. I don't think it would make me a bad father. So when you say I'm a traitor or a sellout, I'm not sure what you mean. Because I love my raza, I love my Latino people, and when I tell my Latino people the truth, something that will benefit them in their life, like legal migration, respect the law, do what's good, honor the country you live in, be a hard worker, give to the community, be part of a country that helps the people in other countries. How does that make me a traitor or a sellout? I am making my people, my Latino people, look good. Because of me, they believe that other Latinos love Americans, like Latinos for Trump. We respect the law. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we respect the law. And we want to honor the people in this country. There's a lot of Chicanos, there's a lot of Hispanic descent Americans that side with me and believe as I believe. They don't call me a sellout or a traitor. You know what would make me a traitor? If I told you that everything illegal that you're doing, it's a good thing. That would make me a traitor to my own people. And I'll never do that. I will never tell a thief that it's okay to steal. I will never tell a liar it's okay to lie. Even though, to be honest, I think all of us lie at some point. Like every day when somebody asks me, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I lie about it every day. Probably 99% of the time I'm lying. Sometimes it's not true. I'm not doing good. I feel like shit. You know, I don't feel good. I feel down. Sometimes maybe even depressed. But we have to push ourselves. And we have to do better. And Diva knows. All positive vibes, she says. Second or third generation here. First generation. My mother was Honduran. I was Honduran. So I'm first generation here. My mom, my kids are second generation. So, Antoine, you know, I know that you believe the lies that Donald Trump was guilty of 34 counts of felonies. That's a lie. He was acquitted from all that. What was it, Trinity, that he was charged with? I think it was a misdemeanor or something. I can't remember. But that's not a felony like you think. Oh shit! Mark says it's 37 now. Oh no! You said that got thrown out of court because he didn't break the law. Okay, thank you, Mark. I was misreading that for a second. The chat went up. Let's see. What about narcissistic personality? They lied too. Linda, that is correct. And to be honest, I think everybody's narcissistic. If you know what narcissistic means, I think we all have that for some reason. I don't know. Let me take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. I know that there's a disorder, but let me take a look and see what this is. Okay, narcissist or someone with narcissistic personality disorder. That's the difference, I think. Is an individual with a severe, pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a constant need for admiration, and a profound lack of empathy for others, often leading to manipulative and arrogant behavior. So, let's break it down. Let's break down Donald Trump is a narcissistic personality disorder. Now, personally, I think a lot of people, TDS is a real thing. I see it a lot on the leftist side. Here we go. So let's break it down. An individual with a severe, pervasive pattern of grandiosity. That's not sexual perversion. A constant need for admiration. Man, who isn't? We all need our ego boosted a little bit, here and there. Even if I tell you you're smart, you want to hear that, don't you? Even if I tell you that you're beautiful, you want to hear that, don't you? I tell you you're strong, you're wise, you want to hear that, don't you? I think we all do. And then let's see, lack of empathy. Let's see, lack of empathy for others. Oh, that's right. Trump is the only person in government whose family has never owned slaves. He is the one that has done more for the black communities than anybody else out there in government. He also has made peace in the Congo, where Africans, because he's so racist, he really didn't want the Africans to keep fighting each other. Wait, I mean, that's the opposite of racism. I'll find a different example, okay? But yeah, he stopped the war in Africa, even though MSN says that he takes credit for something that he didn't do. Now, I remember, and this is what I've been telling everybody all the time. If you think that Trump is lying, don't listen to CNN. Don't go to MSN. Don't listen to the paid protesters, those guys that are making you rally here and there. What I want you to do is go watch the press conferences. Go watch when President Trump has the prime ministers and the presidents of all these countries in the Oval Office, and in the White House, they say, Mr. President, thanks to you, we have peace. Huh? They say it. Congo and Rwanda, they said it. And I'm going to tell you, 70,000 monks from Cambodia cannot be wrong. They broke their vow of silence to say that President Donald Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize because he stopped the war between Thailand and Cambodia. I think that's the right one. Huh? Now what? Wait, listen. I'm just telling you what the president said. Not Trump. The other presidents. Israel. Of course he's going to take credit for stopping that war between Israel and Iran. Israel was fighting, throwing missiles, going back and forth. I get it. Everybody hates Israel. But we were the ones that stroked that nuclear facility and stopped them from getting that nuclear weapons. I'm sure they're going to rebuild and they're going to try it again. But guess what? While Trump is in office, they know they're going to get effed up. You guys have no idea. When you guys look at the technology that we have on our military, you have no idea the secrets that we still have under our sleeves. I tell you guys about the B-21, the one replacing the B-2. The B-2 is a stealth jet fighter that throws a lot of bombs, including nuclear bombs. And the B-21 does half the payload, but you cannot see it on the radar. By the time they find out that some bombs were thrown on them, it's too late. It's done. So that is the difference in our military and how we take care of ourselves. Now, President Donald Trump has the power enough to go take out Maduro like that. Done. Finish. Including his 12, what is it, 500,000 soldiers, including militias. They keep saying it's 8 million. It's not 8 million. That's like 1/3 of the population of Venezuela. That's not what they got. I believe it was 123 non-combatant people that signed up to come and fight, and it was like 200 and something thousand actual soldiers and like another 100,000 reservists or something like that. So it was not more than 500,000 soldiers, but yet Maduro says they got over 8 million soldiers ready to go. Oh man, let's see. Heath, what you got? What question is that? Oh, at S. Let me see. What did S say? What did S say? I missed it. Thank you, Trinity. Always very supportive. God bless you. You know Brian Martin is a country singer. Okay, now I know. No one is perfect, says Linda. Died One says, your Latino people are being targeted for the color of the skin, the same color you wear. Die once. Don't be a victim, okay? Be a victor. We don't believe in that skin shit. That's a fake lie from your kind. You guys hate each other for some reason. I don't know why. Nothing to do with racism, my friend. You remind me of that, what's her name? Ana Navarro, that white Cuban lady that tells a white man, you don't know what it's like to be brown people like us. And I'm looking at her like, hey, you're a white lady in Cuba. How stupid do you think all the Hispanics are? You're a white lady. What are you talking about? We're deplorable says Spanish is a white European language. And it is. So there's that. James is no gay tech. Bienvenidos. Simple as that, he says. Ignacio Almanza says, hypersonic missiles waiting for your army. Hypersonic missile. They won't even, how is a hypersonic missile going to hit something that they can't even detect? You can say whatever you want, but we got the most powerful military force on earth. Burn us. Yeah, no racist, please. Come on. We don't want that. But see, there's always going to be somebody that's going to play the racism card. They like to be victims. You see, this is how they get attention for themselves. Now, I like attention, but I like attention when I'm doing something good, when I'm working for something, when I'm trying to make a difference. Okay, I like the attention. Of course I do. This is why it's easy for me to speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I don't have a problem with that. I like the attention. I like to hear the claps. Not the booing so much, but it doesn't turn me off. I like it. But these people want attention by playing victims, by oppressing themselves and blaming somebody else for their mistakes. That's the difference. Made in China. Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with buying things from China. Let's get this clear and out of the way. This hat was made in China. We have achieved the truth. This hat was made in the United States of America. So what? We have tariffs on China. Hey, Tony, what's popping? Hey, yo, Tony, why don't you give these guys a little bit of information about China products? The race card doesn't work no more, says Pat Jager. That's right, Pat, you tell him. Ana Navarro is Nica, not Cuba. Is it? Oh, that's right. Man, that's right, bro. David Hernandez, you are correct. That is true. That's right. She's not Cuban, guys. I apologize. That's right. She's Nicaraguense. She is the country south of Honduras. Why did I think it was Cuban? Anyway, she's still white. But David, I think you're 100%, bro. I appreciate it. I'm not sure why I thought she was Cuban. Oh, you know why I thought she was Cuban? Because she said that she escaped communism And when I thought about communism, I thought about Fidel Castro, you know. That's right, but you're right. She's a Nika, which, by the way, Nika in Honduras, it's that thing that you keep at night so that you can go number 1 or number 2 in the middle of the night. Hey, that's what a Nika is, okay? I'm sorry. That's just the way we call that. Which we don't have that anymore, I guess. No, man, great job, brother. And like I said, I am going to make mistakes, okay? So if you correct me, I will accept it 100%. Let's see. Like, for example, Daga thinks I'm a Mexican gay, a gay Mexican. No, but I am gay. If you don't know what gay means, it means happy. So, yes, I am happy right now. No problem, bro, says David. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Are you white? Can I moon people on this camera? I don't want to make it an OnlyFans thing, but if I moon you, the light will reflect so bright in your face. I think I'm white somewhere in there, but you guys keep calling me coconut. I just say I'm Latino. That's all that matters. I will spare you from showing you the whitest butt that you will ever see in your life. Oh, man. Hey, listen, if you want me to show you my white moon ass, you got to pay for that one, bro. Caucasian the bro won't stop bragging. Hey, Carlos, don't hate, bro. You got to love, man. You got to love your neighbor, all right? Stop hating your neighbor, man. Yeah, they wish I was illegal. I don't know why. But I tell you what. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate you. It doesn't matter if people call me white, brown. I don't think I'm brown, but I mean, I do have a little tan, but that was from Honduras. I don't consider myself white, but it's still, it's not an insult either if somebody calls me white, okay? That's just how I feel. See, I come from Honduras, and we didn't have this racism crap over there. We were all just Hondurans, so we just knew some people were darker than others, but, you know, we know the history, right? The African descent and all this other stuff, but we were never racist towards each other. We were all brothers, and that's how I treat my Americans over here. So I don't think a white person is better than me. I don't think I'm better than a white person or a black person, vice versa. I think we're all the same, and that's the way that it should be. That's what Martin Luther King actually did on his civil rights movement. What movement was that we were all created equal. And I believe that. And I believe, you know, if it wasn't for Biden, I would probably know what it means. But he just butchered it, and now I don't know what it means. But it's something along the lines that we were all created equal, and you know the thing. So that's all I learned. I don't know what it is anymore. I at some point I thought I knew, but now that's all I know is the thing. You know the thing. We're all created equal. Oh man, guys, we are past our time, 7 o'clock. I know that I said I was going to go longer, but we're going to see my brother. I'm white and Cherokee and proud, and I love that, Heath. I see you, bro. I see our native sides connecting. I don't know why these guys don't believe me that I'm Lenca. Lenca is our native Indians. You can say Mayans, but no, we're more on the Lenca side. Carlos says, I see no color. BS, blue sky, brother. I see personality. There you go. That's what I like to hear. What's for dinner tonight, says Rush. All right, so just so you know, if you see a little piece of chicken in here, it's because I threw it down, burned my mouth, just so I can come on here at 5 o'clock, which I was a little bit late. But yeah, the wife brought me some chicken soup before, like 5-10 minutes before I started my show. And yeah, I burned my mouth trying to eat it. Hurry up. But yeah, it was rice and chicken again, but this time in soup. Irma, how are you? I mentioned you early. So just so you know, you were in my mind, mama. Dave is also Cherokee. Look at that. You see that, Heath? Dave 95 is also Cherokee, man. God bless you, brother. Thanks for joining. My Indian friends are in the house. Oh, wait, you guys don't like that. My Native American friends are in the house. You can call me Indian. I like that. That's a compliment to me. But that's just me. I'll go ahead and call you rice, beans, and rice then mister. Yes, that's right. And I do love my beans. You guys can call me a beaner. It's fun. That's not racist to me. It's just a fact. I am what I eat, and I love my beans. So there's that. Wallaba, hello, and welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. We are in our... well, I think we're at the end of the chat, but we'll continue chatting here if you guys want to me. Mix as well. All right, I got you. JC loves his beans and rice as well. I think JC might be Hispanic or black. So we started to talk today. Sorry about that. We started talking today about what do you guys want this country's society to be run by? You guys want to be run by capitalists, socialist, or communists? I know Augusto, who was here earlier, wants to be a socialist. I think a lot of us want to be capitalist. I believe in capitalism. Let's see what else we got. Phil DeBrio says, smell like salvia in here. Yeah, a little bit. JC said, human like everybody else. I only needed, says Sage, Joe Biden for my lithium $7,500 on the new energy bill. Oh, man. Yeah, but you know what? I still believe in solar panels. I think solar panels are good for individual homes, but not for a large-scale grid. I don't trust it. Too many things go wrong with it. Irma is a capitalist. Yeah, I think most Republicans are capitalists. Tony says, oh, that's right, I forgot. Your wife is Cuban, Puerto Rican. That's a good mix right there, my friend. For my children, I'm only for capitalism. Yep. Capitalist. JC gets motivated by money. That's right. I was friends with the black guy on YouTube, moderating for him and everything, and he flipped the switch and started supporting Harris. What? And when I said Jesus is Lord, he turned on me. What? See, man, people are crazy, Heath. Man, see, Trinity, she moderates for me. She's been my supporter from day one, I feel. I think it was. I think it's from day one. And she also gave me the idea to open up the members to join thing. So some of you guys have subscribed to my membership. Guys, it's not mandatory, but we are trying to get to 100 members so that we can start having private chats. Heath? Oh, socialist. I thought you want to be socialist, man. What? All right. I want to say, if you say socialist, I want you to tell me why. But I see what you mean. Well, I think everybody agrees. Capitalism is the place to be. And, we made the comparisons, right? And I think Carlos says, bro, capitalism for the poor, socialism for the rich. Please learn the rich game, Professor Michael Hudson, economist. I have beaten economists that have been economists for over 30 years, and all thanks to Donald Trump. Adam says, if you want a free market, then Trump is not the guy for you. I will say this. I like capitalism because it allows me to own my business, and the incentive is the more money I make, the more I can invest, and I can make as much money as I want. Socialism, it's very, very, just to give you the rundown, socialism, you got to share your wealth with society, right? Even those that are lazy, don't want to go to work, you can be working your ass off, you become rich, and all of a sudden, all that sacrifice and all that thing that you did gets given to everybody else. And then communism, the difference in there is that communism is controlled by the government. You cannot own your business. The government owns your business, and they are the ones that share the money, which is what Chavez did. And we mentioned this. And Chavez brought poverty levels all the way down to 2% when Venezuela was at its peak of the economy, making a lot of money. They have billions of dollars to throw away and everything. And then what happens after a few years, maybe over a decade, I believe, now they're at 90% poverty level. So that's why communism doesn't work. That's why socialism doesn't work. And Nicaragua, that's one of those communist countries that are still working to get out of it, but that's going to be a while. Ignacio Almanza, tienes que educarte más about history of Central America. Central America before was, I don't know what that means, and what? And then it belonged to Mexico. You might be dreaming about something there, my friend. Mexico was not the owner of the Americas, just so you know. Just because our Mayan Indians were part of the northwest of Central America and is moved up into the north through Mexico, southern Mexico, that doesn't mean that Central America belonged to Mexico. Mexico was not Mexico yet. We did not have those borders. So nice dreaming though. But I know my map and I know my geography and I know my history in my country. And so, yeah, don't bring that type of history. That's bullshit. Mexico did not own any part of Central America. You might claim some of Belize, but not Honduras. Let's see. Mr. T Specialty, he is the king of BK, bankruptcy. Man. Nantron, OG, where you from? Honduras, my friend. Ignacio, Nachito, ¿por qué no me crees? Why don't you believe me? Come on, I love history. I don't remember Mexico ever owning Central America, my friend. We were all clean. You know what? Spain came over and colonized us. And then we started making borders. And this country belonged to this country. And this other country belonged to that country. That's how the borders were being made. And that's why a lot of Hondurans, Guatemalans, Salvadorians, Nicaraguans, we have almost the same accent. It's a very slight change of accent, but we still kind of talk the same. And I think that's the biggest difference. We don't speak like Mexicans speak. And Mexicans may have a map that shows that, but throughout our history, that has never happened. It's never been Mexico. I believe that our native tribes may have, somehow interlaced, but it was not a property of Mexico. It was not a property of Guatemala. This was way before the country borders were made. With that being said, none of the Mexicans speak like any of the Central Americans, and I guess that will be the biggest proof. I will vote for a Mexican for president if he was chill. Holy fuck. Better. What's wrong with that name, man? Yeah, Matas not what? Matas not Incas. Oh, Ignacio, just say it in Spanish, brother. The English is not there. I'm sorry, but I don't know what the hell you're trying to say there. I'm sorry, man. I can't decipher that writing, man. It must be some type of Mayan communications that I don't know yet. Let's see. Jose Rosario, what was part of Mexico? Ignacio, Nachito thinks Mayas. Oh, okay. It was just the autocorrect. Nachito thinks that Central America was part of Mexico. What I'm telling him that it's not. It wasn't Mexico yet. But our natives, yes, we were all, mixed throughout the land. But there was no border saying it was Mexico or Guatemala or Honduras. I believe in the southern, let's see, Occidente, Noroccidente, northwest, I believe, of Guatemala. There's still Mayans in some of those lands over there. And they actually, from what I heard was, I think there was a documentary on them, right? Because they don't exist anymore. At least the majority, right? We're all wiped out. But there was a community of Mayans, and they still speak the language according to them. I mean, I never learned Mayan, so I don't know. But it could be. But Nachito, I see what you're saying, but it's not. It wasn't Mexico yet. Mexico wasn't established in those times. My wife is from Guatemala, and she's an American citizen. Heath, I thought you said your wife was Cuban Puerto Rican, or who said that? Who said that the wife was Puerto Rican and Cuban? Maybe I misunderstood. I thought his wife was half Guatemalan. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm confused. Somebody in here said their wife was half Cuban and Puerto Rican or something like that. Charlie Gill says, I didn't. I don't know. Rollins says Mexico was fighting for its independence for 25 years. I will say this. In 1821, Adam, that's a bullshit lie. I'll prove it to you. In 1821, Mexico, September 15, became independent. And guess what year Honduras celebrated their independence? 1821, September 15. So how was Honduras independent from Mexico? Honduras didn't become independent from Mexico. They became independent from the Spaniards, which means Honduras did not belong to Mexico. Like I said, you can claim Belize, and that's different. Maybe Guatemala. We don't care about Guatemala, but maybe Guatemala. So, but Honduras, no way, Jose. All tribes answer to the Aztecs, even the ones from Honduras. You wish, Jose. You've been watching too many movies. You've been watching way too many movies, bro. Look up the Mexican Empire map. Of course it's going to say the Mexican Empire map. You can't trust those maps. That's what Mexicans will say. Just like right now, the Gulf of Mexico was not named by Mexicans. That was the Spaniards that gave it the Mexico name. But we all know that the Gulf of Mexico, a lot of that water that surrounds the United States, which is actually the majority of the Gulf, it's called the Gulf of America, as it always should have been. Yes, Jose. Honduras was part of the new Spain, yes. Let me see. What did he say to look up for the, let's see, Mexico City was the capital of all provinces in America under the Viceroyalty of Spain. No. Man, I don't know what history they teach Mexicans over there. That's not what they taught me. But let me take a look at that map that you're talking about, Mexican Empire map. Let's see what you got. Maybe you got something in there. Maybe it's something that I missed. Mexican Empire map. So the Mexican Empire map shows that Mexico runs. This is funny, guys. I want you to pay attention to this map. If you guys look up this map, it says First Mexican Empire map. I want you to look at this map. And I want you to tell me, what do you see wrong with this map? Oh, man. These guys. Oh, shit, it almost took Canada as well. You guys are very greedy. What happened to our natives? There was no natives? No Native Americans? What? You mean the Navajo tribe didn't exist? How did that happen? So riddle me this. So, hey, what's going on, Neo? Thanks for joining, brother. Man, you're lucky we're staying late today. You would have missed today's live. So tell me this: why does Mexico hate Central America? That'd be a good thing to know. Hey, Abbas, how are you? Lenka, not Mayan. Debate Euro and travel. J Money, what's up, baby? Thanks for the 5, man. Sage says South America. Who said Mexico hated them? They still do, bro. Yeah, half USA all the way down to Costa Rica. Matter of fact, I think this map covers, let's see, almost down to Panama Canal. Damn, bro, Mexico was huge. I like how they encumber Honduras and everything in there. So wait, so you think that Mexico gave Honduras its name? The Viceroyalty of Spain is Mexico. I don't know, man. The story shows that, okay, here, when did the Spaniards come to Mexico? Let's take a look. Let's see. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'm not going to fight that one too much. Let's see. When did the Spaniards discover America? Spaniards discover America. What year was Mexico discovered? Mexico was a horrible government. They were horrible. And it's true. The Indians, the Mayans, the Aztecs, they were beheading each other. This is why God didn't allow us to stay indigenous like that, because of all the stuff that we did to each other. It was horrible. You guys should be glad that we have different borders today. I tell you that right now. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let me see what you're talking about here. So Mexico has what the hell happened here? Mexico has a rich history that spans over 3 millennia with evidence of human habitation dating back 13,000 years ago. The earliest known inhabitants were the Olmecs. Oh, I thought that was the Aztecs. The earliest known who settled in southern Veracruz around 1500 BCE. The Maya civilization thrived in the Yucatan Peninsula from around 250 to 900, while the Aztecs built the capital of Tenochtitlan. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't give me like a specific small number, man. Shit. The World Fair 1889 was the moment that Mexico unveiled itself to the world as a major cultural force. We were independent in 1821. That's all I know. Let me see. So, let's see. Man, Christopher Colon got around a lot, man. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing. Cortez. Fuck Cortez. Miguel Hidalgo Costilla. Blah, blah, blah. 25,000 years ago. Dude, there's no way these guys know that shit. Interesting. I can't see that date that you're giving me there. That 1836 was way too late. 1492. That's what I want to look at. Because I believe Honduras. So peep this. You say 1492, Mexico was discovered by the Spaniards? Very interesting, because Honduras was not discovered until 1504, I believe. Let me see if I remember my history right. Yeah, 1502 is when Honduras was discovered by Christopher Columbus. Now, when he reached the island of Guanaja, which is one of the small islands in Honduras, they claimed the territory for Spain, and then they named Honduras Guanaja. And there was one of the lands on the east part of the map of Honduras. There's a very deep waters, which is why Christopher Columbus, when he got to that spot in Honduras, he says, "Gracias a Dios por estas Honduras." And what that means is, thanks be to God for the depths of this water. And they named that part of Honduras Honduras, which means depth. Deep waters is what it means, okay? Or depths, that's all it means. That's what Honduras is. And so it says that it was discovered in 1502, meaning that if they would have found Mexico up in the north first, they would have kept traveling south through the land. But that's not what it says. And so Honduras, according to our history here, was never conquered by Mexico. Now, if you think Mexico was like as you think Mexicans, I don't agree with that. But if you think Spaniards conquer Mexico and the Central Americas, I am with you. But it's not Mexico. That's not what it was called. So the Spaniards called Honduras, Honduras. They didn't call it a piece of Mexico. They didn't go to Guatemala and call it a piece of Mexico. They never called it Mexico. They called the borders of Mexico, Mexico, and it didn't extend down to Costa Rica. I'm not finding anything on here that will tell me that Mexico's land was all the way down to Costa Rica on the date that you're giving me. That's not what I see here. Sorry, guys. I could be wrong. I could be misinterpreting this, but my history is what I have, and this is what I have. Even Wikipedia says that. Remember the Alamo, says poor man. He's like, man, we don't care about Honduras and Mexico. Honduras was briefly part of Mexico. Maybe I can give you that. But yeah, but we were independent from the Spaniards back in 1821. That's where I'm at with that. And listen, I don't want to be disrespectful to my Mexican friends, but I will tell you this. Even though you don't believe that I am Lenca or part native, my father is from my father's side, not my mom. I'm very light like Spaniards because of my mom. But even though you don't believe that I'm half Indian, there is something that has always attracted me, like you have no idea, to nature. When I'm in nature, I don't know, I'm a different person. I'm so connected. And what's weird is every time that I talk to like Mexicans or even the Indians here in America, I'm sorry, the Native Americans, I feel a connection with them. And guys, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. How do you say something without people taking it the wrong way? You know, I feel a connection. I don't know. I've always been very connected to nature, and I love it. I hate mosquitoes. That's not what I mean. That's not the nature that I'm saying. And what's up, Jason? Thanks for joining. And so, if you guys, I'm glad that you're talking about this history, bro. I love it. Carlos, thank you for the date, man. I don't remember who brought that Honduras was part of Mexico, but I love it because it makes sense. It makes sense that I feel connected. This is probably why that I think Mexico is so beautiful. And I don't understand why people think I'm a sellout or a traitor. I really love the land. Like, I don't know. I can't stand drug lords or cartels hurting the Mexican natives. I don't know. I can't stand that shit. You know, and that's probably why I feel that way. So I guess that kind of Luis Payne. Now Honduras is not part of Africa. What's wrong with you? I guess that kind of makes sense. Maybe that's why that's probably why I love Mexico, I think, and the people. Ignacio, you might be right. So it was Nachito that brought it up. You might, yeah. Hey, man. Hey, so we're brothers. Let's go, baby. All right, so we jump to today. Borders were made, right? So we're supposed to respect the borders because every country has signed a treaty. And let's see, does milk ever come out of your nose when you are done pleasing? What? Lalo, what the fudge, dude? That's it. Block that guy. No more coming from him. He brought the milk out of the nose. That's not good. Never bring that joke in here, bro. Honduran make great cigars. I'm just joking. Guys, I was just joking. Heath, you're so rough. Everyone double tap your screen to hit the like for Dennis. Thank you, Trinity. I appreciate you both. Trinity, just so you know, Heath is also a moderator for my channel. I think I gave him that access a long time ago. So the only thing I want blocked is too much spamming, right? Or racist comments. Everything else I want to read. Because like Carlos, maybe they hate me. Maybe Ignacio hates me. But I like what they brought up. You know what? I feel peace about it. And I know that they will never take me as a Mexican brother. I get it. But it makes sense that, maybe at some point in human history, we were connected and something divided us. And you know what? This is even more reason for me to push for Latinos. I know illegal immigration covers more than just Latinos, okay? There's a lot of people from other countries, believe me, that are worse than Latinos coming over here. I believe that, especially with this whole fentanyl coming across. We know that shit comes from China, okay? And it comes through Mexico, but it comes from China, specifically from China. And I think that a lot of my Latino people that are in here, if you're illegal, you got to respect the law, my friend. It's nothing about being traitors or a sellout. I feel a connection. Now that I read this history about Mexican, viceroyalty of Spain and all this other stuff, I guess it makes sense why I love Central America and even Mexico. It just, what's really weird? When I went to Mexico, I was there for a couple of weeks, and I went to Manzanillo, Colima. I could have swear to you guys, I haven't been to Honduras in years, but when I got out of the airport, I could have swore I was back in Honduras. It's just, the trees are the same, the weather was the same, and and it pisses me off that cartels are destroying Manzanillo, Colima, that they are destroying so many cities in Mexico, and the government doesn't do anything about it. And then let me tell you something: a lot of Mexicans probably have resentment towards the United States, because there was a time where Americans went to Mexico to train soldiers to fight the cartel. Yeah, they turned cartels themselves, and this is where the Zetas come from, right? Maybe some of you guys in here will know what that means. But the fact of the matter is that whoever is president in Mexico and in the United States, look at the Salvadorian president, right? He fought the drugs in his country and his, the gangs and all this violence. Like, he stopped that. And he's just a guy in a small little country, but imagine how much more Mexico can do. And if you got rid of the cartels, I can tell you this. The one thing that I saw, Mexico wants either Mayo back, I heard. Yeah, maybe. But let's see. I trade the blacks and keep the Latinos any day if I could. Man, black people have a good heart, man. Plus, they're tough people. They're very strong. I'm going to tell you guys, this is the truth of why the United States of America has become so great and why it has been built to be a great nation. The stuff that you guys say in here, it fills me. It really fills me up. And, when I look at black people, come on, man, this guy's got hops. They got some speed. I see the Mexicans, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, all this native blood, Native Americans over here, the warrior spirit. You have all these different talents. Like, don't get offended. Some people have higher IQs than others, okay? I probably got the lowest IQ in the room. But I can tell you that if I work and I can do a good job, I'm very happy. And I'm very excited to be able to do that. Thank you, Heath. Thanks for the 2. Love you, brother. Appreciate it. I love your support. It's so awesome. Okay, so Heath, right? He's a half Cherokee white guy. And then who else was the Cherokee as well? I can't remember the name that popped in here. But nonetheless, right, today and age, we're all mutts. And so you got white people, and white people, it's so weird because Europeans, right? You can be Spaniard, you don't even know. Jews, they don't call themselves white, but they look white. I don't know. I don't know. They look white to me. I don't know. But the Irish, right? They consider themselves white. The redheads, and then you got the Scottish, and then the Vikings, and then you got the, Finland, right? And then you have like so many different countries that can be considered white. But here in America, we're all just one people. Like, we're all mix of something. And just having this conversation with my Mexicans here, and the Chicanos in this chat, seeing some of the history in the map is crazy. I don't want to accept it, but it makes sense. And I find this connection all the way from Central America to the North America. And it's just mind-blowing to me. You see how excited I get? Because it feels like something connected in me. And Ignacio said he doesn't hate me, so I appreciate that. God bless you, man. But I don't know, man. When I'm with my Navajo, well, I told you guys, I was sponsored for a year by my Navajo family here. And I felt so at home. Even though I didn't speak the language, I felt so at home. They taught me things to do at the beach, and in the forest. And I slept with them on the floor. And, we shared some teepees and, camping stories and all this stuff. And I felt at home. I don't know. I felt like that was beautiful. But after that, it's like I lost my connection. I miss Honduras. I was culture shocked for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's the best thing that happened to me in life. It's to be able to speak Spanish and English, to be able to communicate throughout the Latin America. If we were talking Mayan right now against Aztecs, we'll probably be killing each other. But we speak Spanish, so we can actually talk. And if we still fight, it's okay. But we can communicate. So Nachito, Ignacio, we can talk. We can communicate now. And that's what you got to be at. The black people that came from Africa, even though, slavery, okay, that's bad. Guess what? White people were also slaves. And Nachito can be my witness. We were enslaving Mayans ourselves. And then Aztecs were also enslaving Aztecs. And Incas were enslaving Incas. We all did the slavery thing. We were slaves to Spain, and then we became free, and etc. The history is so bad. But the thing is, now we can be just one people. When we say we the people, it's Americans. And as I always say, I want all my Hispanics to be American, or at least love it. Even if you're a green card holder, love this country, respect it, honor it, love the people. We're always going to fight, right? Brothers and sisters, we always fight. But at the end of the day, we have love for each other. And I think that means a lot more. D. Roscoe says, Chicanos for Trump. Rush Babe says, if I became a citizen of Japan, I cannot be Japanese. That is true. If you became a citizen of America, you became American. And just to clarify, when we say American, we mean the country, not the continent. I know we're all Americans at the end of the day, but when we say Americans, it's actually nationality, not the continent. Carlos says, Dennis for president of Honduras. I'm sorry, Dennis is a gringo now. So, Carlos, I heard that I could still renounce my American citizenship and that I can run for president in Honduras. But to be honest, as much as I know a lot about my Honduran heritage, I don't think I know Honduras as well as I should. I don't think I would be. I don't know. I mean, every time I'm there, I feel home, right? And my accent, it still comes back as a Honduran speech. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just doubt myself, but it would be nice. I would definitely be a good president. I really would. I think that we have had presidents in Honduras that have been for the people, but they haven't been visionaries. And that's why poverty in Honduras, is getting worse. Did you know that at one point in the early 80s, I believe, to mid 80s, the Honduras money, the dollar in Honduras, was 75 cents, the value of an American dollar. You know what it is today? Today is 26 Honduran lempiras for $1. That's how bad the economy has gone down, and that has a lot to do with the leaders. When they play socialist, that's exactly what happens. And unfortunately, even that they can't do right. But Carlos thinks that I can be what? Africa has many colors and races, north, central, east, west, south, etc. The same. Eater Oriana says, con razón. I don't know. Are you agreeing with me with everything I said about my native touch? Trini says, we miss you too much. Aw, thank you, sis. Love you. Falcon Trick says, Donald Trump deserves an Emmy leave. What? Wait, enemy? Oh, shit. The chat moved. I'm sorry. I apologize. Donald Trump deserves an Emmy for that performance behind you. Yeah, man, he's my hero, man. He really is. Uh, I think I don't know. I watched a documentary for golf was golf. Donald was playing golf with a professional, and the way he talked with him, total different person. He was so personal. He was not conceited. He gave credit where credit was due. And he kept up with the professional. Man, he was hitting better than the professional in a lot of holes. And I love the way he talked, the way he carried himself. It's a totally different person. You have to understand this. Donald Trump has never been a politician. And so his first term, he was learning to be a politician. And I heard him when he was having dinner with all those billionaires, right, at the Oval House a couple of days ago, when he had Mark Zuckerberg next to him. He had Microsoft, Apple, and all these billionaires in there, right? They asked a question to Mark and the president, and he's like, "Oh, this could be the beginning of your the politics." And Mark Zuckerberg said, "Oh, nope." But this is what I see, that Donald Trump, it's a politician now when it comes to the press, when it comes to, being out there with other leaders that are actual politicians. He's playing tough. I know people don't like them calling names and stuff, but isn't it funny that the crazy leftists that always blame Donald Trump for the way he talks, what is the first thing they do when they come into our chats? Start cursing you out, start calling you names, sell out, all this other stuff, right? So what are you blaming Trump for again? You want to talk about all this, LGBTQ stuff, but all of a sudden you care about him cheating on his wife? No, the guy, well, he missed. He failed a few times as a husband. Melania, I know she's not very happy with him, but hopefully, they can get over it. He's 79 years old. The least they can do is just get over that shit and just live from here on, So when somebody comes in and starts saying that, he's a pedophile and all this stuff, but they support the LGBTQ transgender, which, by the way, has been known to have a mental problem, right? We've seen all these killings from, transgender people. It's because people don't tell them the truth. It's like, no, it's okay. You can be a feminine, that's fine, but you're a male. Or you're a female. Your biological thing doesn't change. You cannot have a chemical imbalance in your body because you go crazy. You see, and this is what I have learned, okay, from science and doctors. I'm a male. I need testosterone. If I have too much, I go crazy. But if I have too much estrogen, that is also very bad for me and can become violent and depressed. So there's a chemical balance that we're supposed to have. Women need more estrogen, males need more testosterone. And that's just how it is. So the moment that we lie to these kids, boys and girls, we lie to them and tell them, "Oh yeah, you're a girl. Yeah, sure, you're a girl." They're not girls. You will mess them up here. And having that chemical imbalance with all these blockers and stuff like that, people are going crazy. They lose their minds. Did you know that the mother from the guy that just did that shooting in Minneapolis, it was Minneapolis, I think, right? The Catholic Christian school, I think it was, where the 2 children were lost. He wrote this letter that was kind of crazy. I should have looked it up. I wasn't going to talk about it. I don't want to make it a deal. But the mother, she hired a lawyer, she says, before she can talk to the police. Why would you lawyer up? And apparently the mother was the one that put that on his head. And so she ruined her child. She ruined her boy. And he didn't like it, and he went crazy. And of course, the guy was local. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to be like prejudiced or make people feel any less. I always tell people, Fatty, it's okay, man, whatever. I always tell you guys, okay, so it's not that I support gays or lesbians, but I'm okay with it. Don't do it in front of me, number one. I'm not that kind of guy. I still love them because they're our brothers and sisters, regardless. They're lost, but they're still there. Most of the time, they're actually very cool people. They're nice. They're very nice. And I've been accused of being gay. Well, here in the chat, that's normal, right? But I've been accused of being homosexual because I hang out with gay people. And no, I am not. I'm very heterosexual, happily married, but I respect them. I don't do what they do. I just love them as people. But the difference was that, man, that's a sexual preference, if I can say it that way, right? And they're going to pay for that sin. But once you go to mutilating, to pedophiles, to thinking non-binary, and to thinking out of, like, you're going crazy now. You're not mentally stable anymore. So I can support that. And so when people come in here and they tell me they support the LGBTQ, blah, 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 but then they're calling President Donald Trump a pedophile, and they do all these names, and they say, oh, you know, he has no morals and this and that. Well, what are you saying? This is exactly what you support. This is what you do. This is what you people say. You say, oh, well, he's always insulting people, and yet they come in here and they start insulting us, right? And I think that's, you know, that's what's wrong with our world today. Why would you ever lie to a child? I don't know, Kevin. I don't know. I mean, the only time that I would lie to my kid is to say I'm doing okay when I'm not. Maybe that's not okay either. But, you know, if my child is doing something wrong or something's going to be harming for them, I'll tell them the truth. But if it's something that I can fix, like, for example, if I'm not doing good, if I feel pain, I put up with it, you know, and I'll tell them I'm okay. But that will become the kind of lies that I will probably tell. And I know it might not be good. Matter of fact, she's probably watching this right now, and she probably already knows the truth now. So there you go. You guys got me in trouble. I know sometimes my daughter says that her friends from school, they find my channel. And they tell my daughter, hey, your dad is famous. I saw him on my YouTube feed. I feel so sad for my daughter. Poor child. But you know, we are trying to spread the truth. And one of the things that I see a lot of my shorts and videos is just people cursing me out, people calling me names, people putting me down, and, you know, doing all this stuff. Brush says that the father was pushing trans on him, and, you know, that's something that, you know, we believe that having a mother and a father in a home, right, is going to be a better, you know, upbringing for a child. But not when they do that. Not when they start giving into this crazy mentality. I'm going to tell you, I still don't understand why people don't want to switch sides right now, because the communists that are pretending to be Democrats right now, they've been lying to us for so long. We're watching something live, and they're still lying about what we're seeing. They try to convince us that what we saw is not true. And I think that's a problem. We got to address that. Let's see, what is it? Don't want to worry your kid. Don't want to worry your kids. Thanks, Julianne. Sixto says, are you a soccer fan? You know what, Sixto? Thank you for bringing that up, man. I need to change gears on here. We're only going a little bit longer, guys, because my daughter came in and said that she doesn't want to go swimming today. So this is why I'm staying a lot longer, an hour over than normal. But you mentioned soccer. This is weird. Okay, here, I don't watch soccer. But when I go to Honduras, dude, I just want to sit down and, you know, and watch the game. I don't care who's playing. I want to sit down and watch football. Football. We call it football, right? Soccer. I don't know why, but it's so weird. I don't even know how to explain it. But I really love it, especially with my growing up family. If, you know what, for members, maybe I'll do that one day. I will probably show some personal videos of my travel, and then I'll share that with you if that's okay. If you guys want to see that and you have become a member, I will probably make a video of when I was in Honduras just this past July. I can't find my damn GoPro. I lost it somewhere. I'm kind of pissed about that. But I think I got the video saved on my laptop. So if you're a member and you want to watch it, let me know. And I'll be more than happy to put a small video, and I will just share it just for the members, okay? Because I don't want to bore everybody else with it. Let's see. Ricardo said, yeah, I understand. Hey, Honduras play Haiti today. How do they do? Sixto? Bro, if Haiti beat us, I'll be so mad right now, even though I don't watch football no more. Who won? Thank you, Trinity. Yeah. Oh, as a matter of fact, on these clips that I got, I believe I recorded the area where I was born and where I grew up. So you guys will get to see that. Awesome. Glad you like. Okay. And then let's see what else we got here. So who won? Haiti or what? Switch sides. 0-0. Man. All right. I know you're not going to believe this, but I was a #1 goalkeeper for my senior year in high school. And I didn't play for 2 years. And then my Mexican friends, which I had, they're from Mexico City, okay? They used to call me Chilango. If you're Mexican, you know what that means. They invited me to come and play soccer with them. And I said, sure. You know, I got my whole gear, you know, the whole outfit and everything. And they were losing 6 games. Why? Because the Mexican goalkeeper was this 5 feet tall guy. And every day that we play, well, they play football or soccer on Sundays, he'd show up drunk. Football, not soccer. Fine, I'll say football. Okay. Or football, I guess, for English, so they can understand. But he showed up drunk every time. So one time they invited me. First half, they scored 6 goals on this guy, and that's because the defense was actually really good. And so I came over, and the guy says, okay, I lied to you guys. I have committed fraud. But only here, I promise. They gave me an ID from one of the Mexican players. I have forgot about this. So I lied, not on purpose. I forgot. But they gave me an ID from another Mexican so that I can play in as one of the players. I paid my membership afterwards, but for this game, I committed fraud. I'm sorry. All right. At least it's not a penalty charged by law. Okay, so this is just a civil offense. I get on there and I start stretching. Mind you, the whole team is Mexicans, okay? I'm the only Honduran in there. And I'm start stretching and they're like, oh man, this guy's a real goalkeeper. Because I'm 6'1", right? I was only 190 pounds, but I was muscular. I was fit. And I had a 37-inch vertical. I know it's hard for people to believe this, okay? But it's the truth. I had a 37-inch vertical. So just imagine how great I looked after this 5-foot-tall drunk Mexican goalkeeper got his ass kicked on the first half. The guy that we were playing, he was a Herrera. So the best player from the other team, I'm not going to lie to you, the guy kicked very good, but I was better. I love the challenge. And just, listen, I used to get this natural adrenaline, like almost like this, but inside, not outside, inside. I felt like this, like I just want to go. And when they kick the ball, I see the ball like this, and I just focus on it. So the first jump that I did, that I saved the first kick, the goalpost is here. I'm jumping this way, touching the ball, and people were just like, what the? Right? And I was just like, oh, of course, I love attention. But that's right. I'm the goalkeeper, baby. I'm from Honduras. This is Mayan country. Because Mexicans, they always go for Aztecs. So I never say Lenca. I always say Maya. And so one day, we go and play with West Seattle. In West Seattle, the whole team is black. There's a couple of mixed guys in there, okay? But the whole team is black. They are all from Honduras. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I was so excited. I see Honduran people, and I'm just, let's go. I want to show these guys, right? And I saw the Mexican forwards that I had, and there was 2 Americans, 1 defender and 1 forward. I invited him to come and play with us. And believe me, we won every single game except for that one where I started, right? Because they scored the 6 goals in the first half. We had shout out. And we played against the Hondurans. And I'm from El Barrio. I'm, from a small community. And so I do have that street talk. And I'm calling them, hey, negro, vení pa acá, like over here, Of course, in English, it sounds bad, but it just means black man, right? And so, negro, and this and that. And so the coach's wife was there. And she says, negrito. Negrito is like, it's like saying black man, but with, I don't know, with emotion, with feeling. I don't know, like a baby. I don't know how to mention it, but it's a Hispanic thing, okay? Saved by Grace, welcome to the chat. I made so many touchdowns playing soccer. Not that kind of football, Rush. But anyways, I saw the Honduran goalkeeper. He was about an inch taller than me, okay? And he was very good. And I told the Honduras coach, I was like, man, you have a great goalkeeper. He says, you're better than him. And I said, what? There's no way. That guy, he looks better than me. He said, no, you're better than him. And you have one thing that he doesn't have. And I said, what is that? He says, you have a good character. He can't control his anger. That's why you are better. And I was like, oh, man, it kind of felt bad, because even though the black goalkeeper over there, yeah, he was kind of angry. I remember he was going to fight my Mexican teammate, right? And I ran over there. And I went and I hugged him. And I said, come on, bro, don't do that shit, man. And I'm talking to him. And he's like, no, man, he kicked the ball. He knew I wasn't looking. And I said, I'm sorry, man. Just let it go, bro. Come on. From brother to brother. And you know what? He grabbed the back of my head. He said, you're right, Catracho. Man, I felt so special. I was like, that's my Honduran brother right there. It was such a special moment to me. It was so special. They invited me to come over to have dinner with the team. They had this club, and the whole team was there. I was there, and we were dancing some typical cultural Honduran music. You have to understand that there's a lot of blacks in Honduras. They live mostly on the coast, and they have this typical dance, which I was actually very good at. This is our cultural dance, so I know it very well. And so I dance with them, and I'm having drinks with them, and this is way back then, guys. And I felt so nice. But I tell you this because, all these black people were all Honduran, and Americans will never know. How to speak English. Nobody will ever know. And it was just such a great connection. So, when it comes to athleticism, I always say that it was my Indian side, the reason why I was so athletic. And so I'm very proud of that. And so when I come here to the United States and I see a lot of different ethnicities, because I played a lot of soccer and football, I know, leave me alone. I played a lot of football and football. I knew a lot of talent from different players. I also did track. I did martial arts. I did taekwondo, and I did boxing. And I know that every ethnicity has a different talent and a certain level of skill. And not just there, but working. Everybody works different. We got lazy people on every ethnicity. But then we got that worker in every ethnicity that just kicks ass. And I think that that's exactly what we have in the United States. Yes, Garifuna, you got it right, brother. And so we have this mix of talent in the United States. We got Indian people. These people are smart. Sometimes we got some Asian people. They're very smart as well. The blacks and Latinos, they're very athletic, but so is white people. But when we come as a one nation, we just become this one powerful country. When you look at our I always brag about the most powerful military force on earth. You guys hear me say that a lot, right? There is women in there. There's black men in there. There's Hispanics and there's Mexican descent in there. And they're all wonderful. There's like all these mixed people. It's a melting pot, as many people say, right? And this is who is our country. Every single one of you Americans should be proud to see somebody else respecting the beautiful flag behind me, supporting that president that took a bullet for us, right? He never gave up on us. As a matter of fact, he came out looking like a hero because somebody tried to take him out. You know, somebody made him look like Jesus not too long ago. Why? Because they say he's been dead since Friday, and then on Monday he was resurrected. Yeah, that's just what I saw. That's what I saw, that's what I heard, and that's what I'm saying. So every time that the bad people try to make him look bad, he always comes out looking like a hero. Why? Because people hate him. And, you know, man, this is probably the longest live we've had over here on a Friday. 3 hours, it says. You guys are crazy. Why you guys got me here for so long? And I bet you I got like maybe 1,000 views. That is nuts. Guys, I want to thank you, my Mexican family that is in here. I love you guys. I really do. I know people think I'm a sellout and, you know, I'm a whatever, coconut. That's okay, guys. You guys can say that. That's fine. But I love my Latino people. I hope that tonight's chat was educational history. Thanks to Ignacio that brought it up, and Carlos, and some of my Hispanic friends in here giving some facts. I feel a lot more special, honestly, to see that all of our native Indians were once connected, and that today, because of this country, we are too, you know? And I'm blessed to be part of that and to have become an American citizen even better now. You know, I am part now of my Native American family. All the Americans, you know, from this country have welcomed me. And yes, there will always be haters, but I think that the love from the very few people that I have in my life pretty much wash all that out. So Sixto, thank you for your support, brother. Much love to you, man. Pinche nopales. That's what Mexicans like to call people, nopales. Thank you, Pat. Love you, brother. Bobby, why does MAGA defend PDF? Omar, is Omar still here? Miguel, represent. What is Bobby? What is Bobby? But Bobby says, why does MAGA defend PDF? What does that make Bobby? Let's see, Trinity, maybe you'll say it. Bobby, beta. Rush, you win. Nah, you're too slow, Trinity. Too slow. Even my lag over here was faster than that. Anybody that comes into this live chat, I know we only got like 60 people on, I think. But anybody that comes into this chat, if you come in here saying some dumb shit, we're going to call you beta every single time. Scott Soykin, love the stories. Miguel, man, it's my pleasure. Believe me, people think that I make stories up. It's not, man. I've been through a lot. As a matter of fact, I always tell people that know me in person, I always tell them that I feel like I am twice my age because you won't believe how much I suffered in my life. Now, you know, you would think that somebody that's gone through a lot of hardship in life will be just a hateful person. But here we are. And what do we say all the time? We love Americans. We love migrants. We love people. We want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to find peace and happiness. You know, we support a lot of countries. We say so many nice things about Mexico, and yet some people still don't see it, you know? And I would think that somebody that has been going through so much hardship and hate and maybe a little bit of racism experience in their life, I should be a bandit. I should be an evil guy. I should be hating the world right now. If I tell you every single story of my childhood and just growing up and the stuff that I've been through, you would just be like, what the, how is this guy alive? And I mean that. But it's by the grace of God, and we know that. It is because the love of our Lord Jesus Christ that we are here. You are hateful thought. Nat the Great is a beta. Sammy, you devil, you. Clara Clark says Mexico donkey shows. Hey, actually, that is a thing. They do have a donkey show. I hope you're not making fun of the Democrats because that's their symbol, okay? Pat, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to tell you something, man. If it wasn't for God, man, I don't know what I would be, to be honest. I really wouldn't. Know what? You haven't been here all night, man. How you want to debate me if you don't know who I am? Whenever you tell somebody, I'm going to debate you, it's because you know that person. You don't debate somebody just because you want to randomly scream at somebody. You got to know what's going on. All right? Clara Clark says, ha ha. Oh, man. Beta. Scott says, do you even know why? What was the question? What was the question, Scott Soy? Dude, my ass fell asleep a long time ago. I've been sitting on this chair for way too long talking to you guys. You motherfuckers drive me crazy. Let's see. Gross. Rushed. Hey, guys, I want to take a little bit of time just to say thank you so much for your likes. I see we got 149 likes in there. That tells me that we probably had about 150 people watch this video. That's pathetic. But I do love the 149 likes in there. Thank you for that. And most importantly, thank you for subscribing, guys. I am glad that I'm getting to see more patriots in this country. And yes, we like to have some of these trolls in here. But you know what? I think that a lot of our Mexican brothers that we have in here that are not members with us, or I don't know if they subscribe or not, but I think they're cool people. You know, they brought up some legit stuff that I think it was worth it. What was it? Carlos and Ignacio. I don't know if they got mad at me when I was talking shit about them, but we looked up at the information. You know, we kind of compare history dates and history that we know from our countries, and it was a very nice outcome. You know, I accept what they say. And, you know, I believe, of course, what I believe about Honduras, but it was pretty cool. I like it. Thank you guys so much for doing that. That is exactly what I want, you know. Yeah. I'm a Musk troll. Nah, man. Much love, Carlos. You've been in my lives a few times, so I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I know we're not always going to agree on everything, but it's good to have the talk. I think that the moment that we can have talks is, I mean, what are we doing, right? Thank you guys. 154 likes. I appreciate that. We are not going to talk shit about Mexico anymore. We got too many Mexicans in here. Unless they bring it up, guys, we're not going to talk shit about Mexico. Only their president, because you guys talk shit about my president. Trump all day. That's right, baby. Speaking of Trump, I wonder if he's going to golf tomorrow. Dang it, that's another $52 million. That guy's got to stop golfing. Man. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your love, for your support. Thanks for the good and the bad times. At Torres, I love my neighbors until they invade my home. That's right, baby. I'm going to give a couple of hearts on that one, a couple of hundreds. And those are all from me. That's not from you guys. That's from me to you. Why do you show up on my feeds, Paisa? Says Albert Garcia. Albert, that means that you have to hear some truth, my friend. But you got to come and join us a lot earlier, man. We're finishing up. We're going on 3 hours and 8 minutes according to my clock on the phone. So if you guys don't mind, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up very early to go to my little trip with my wife and a couple of friends. Going to hang out of a cabin. There is not signal. There is, but maybe like 1 or 2 bars. If I got enough signal over there, who knows? Maybe I'll get away and I'll do a live for you guys and we can chat some more. But I will try to do one in the morning on the way to the ferry. But until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a blast. 3 hours of pure joy. I can't believe how much I talk. ADHD, I'm telling you, I do this all day, every day, especially when I have friends like you, Renee. Thank you so much. God bless you. Trinity, you are the best. Rush, love you, babe. You are awesome. Miguel Salinas, mi hermano, Dios te bendiga. God bless you. Omar probably went to sleep already. He probably gets up early in the morning. Ozzy, what's the other guy's name? He should have put his name instead of his channel chat or podcast. Who am I missing in here? I don't think it's in here, but Heath, He came in, say hello, Pat. I seen you here a few times. God bless you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I guess I'm supposed to save my shout outs to my members. That's okay. These are free. These are free because you guys are very supportive with your comments. So I appreciate it. 63 Herrera, God bless you, brother. Thank you for coming in here, man. Let me see. Who else did I miss? Anybody that I missed? Anybody? Albert Garcia says, me. Albert, thanks for stopping by, man. God bless you. William, God bless you. You have a wonderful night. Ethan, God bless. Yes. Irma was here for a little bit. God bless that sister. Hope that God keeps you strong. MAGA pastor at Dennis Church. Oh, man, I don't know, man. We'll see. We got other things I think that we have to cover first. But God bless you guys. Thank you so much for the love tonight. Until next time, you all be blessed and have a wonderful night. Take care. Peace.